Hello everyone and welcome to the 20th tournament of Halo Ninja Warrior. For the 4th time on Halo 5, competitors from all around the world will attempt to defeat the treacherous 4-stage obstacle course. The rules are simple: complete all 4 stages and you win $100, but fail a stage and your tournament is over. This is the second ever 100 competitor tournament, and the last runner to go will be the 1000th ever attempt at this course. In the previous tournament, all 100 jumpers were defeated by the first 3 stages. DHG Fireball got the closest to defeating Stage 3, failing the Pipe Slider for the 3rd time in his career, and Spartan Sasuke host RPG 445 was the 2nd closest, failing the Vertical Limit Kai. All-Stars Alpha Puma and Ump Double Ump failed the Cliffhanger, and Stage 3 first-timers Flame Vortex and Atlantic Champ got their first taste of success on this course. With this being such a historic tournament, each competitor will wear their respective number as it stands in the history of runs on this course, counting up from number 901 to number 1000. As a way to further reflect on the course's history, the final 20 competitors have been ranked by their longevity and overall performances on this course, looking as far back as Tournament 1. There is a record number of returning competitors back for Tournament 20, as well as lots of newcomers who are ready to begin their adventure on the first stage. Stage 1 has undergone numerous changes from the previous tournament, including the very first obstacle, as the cone jump is back from Tournament 15. After that is the rolling escargot, which has dealt lots of damage throughout the years, and once again the TIE Fighter is back, followed by the jump hang kai. After that, we have our first new obstacle, the crooked wall, which requires competitors to pull off a tricky corner jump onto a pole before dismounting. After that is the infamous warped wall, and then another new obstacle, the dragon glider. Wrapping up Stage 1 is a modified version of the balance bridge, last seen in Tournament 8, and then the lumberjack climb. All obstacles must be completed within 90 seconds in order to move on to the second stage, and 100 competitors will attempt this first stage, and now we will find out who can advance. Let's get to the runs and begin Halo Ninja Warrior Tournament 20. Our first competitor of Tournament 20, number 901, just got shot in the head. It's Wolf Ninja 1225. He is a newcomer, and he's got Ninja in his gamer tag. Let's see how that helps him here on Stage 1. He is the first person to take on the cone jump since Tournament 15, and he's gotten through it. Now onto the rolling escargot, another obstacle making its return. We last saw it in Tournament 17. It did some good damage in that tournament, but now it is back for Tournament 20. This is one of those kind of a historical obstacle. You know, it first came out back in Tournament 9. And now it's around for Tournament 20, and Wolf Ninja with a really nice technique here crouches all the way as it rolls down to the bottom, and now he is on to the TIE Fighter. This obstacle did a fair amount of damage in the last tournament, but let's see if he can get through it. He is a newcomer. This is not an easy obstacle for a newcomer, but he does it, and now he's on to the jump hang kai, and he does that too. At least he gets into it and goes around the outside. This is a slightly slower technique, but he makes it work, and Wolf Ninja is the first person to ever attempt the crooked wall. He goes for it, and Wolf Ninja has defeated it. Now he is on to the warped wall. He's only got 30 seconds left, though. He took a lot of time on the rolling escargot, and he has failed to get up it on his first 2 attempts. He is not getting a big run-up either. Wolf Ninja looking like he's struggling on the warped wall, down to under 20 seconds now. This is not looking good. It's actually a great run, seeing as he is the first runner of Tournament 20. However, he has a very bad technique here on the warped wall, not getting enough of a run-up, and he's just not getting the height he needs. He's getting really close, but not close enough, and that is time for Wolf Ninja 1225. A very solid start to Tournament 20, and a great newcomer performance, but he will not be advancing to Stage 2. That brings us to our second competitor. We've got Tacito, Tacit, Tackit, Tackito, I don't know. I really can't figure it out. And then a bunch of numbers, but anyway, he's onto the cone jump, and he gets onto the second one, going for the dismount. He clipped the cone, and it made him come up short. That's too bad. Good luck pronouncing his gamertag. All right, number 3, 903, that is Regional T Barn. Let's see what this guy can do. He's got a nice pointy helmet. That's always, it never really helps, but it looks cool. All right, he gets onto the second one. Now he goes to the dismount. Did he come up short too? Oh my goodness, he slipped off. It looked like he had a chance to make it, but gravity was not helping him there. Now we've got Sands TCM number 4 in this tournament. Another newcomer. We haven't seen any returning competitors yet. He goes for the first jump, and he comes up short. That is 3 straight cone jump failures. Well, Wolf Ninja set the bar way too high for the first group of competitors, but now we have our first regular of the tournament. This is Volcanic Crowd 5. In the last tournament, he did fail the Jump Hang Kai, which is here in this tournament. Volcanic Crowd, he's been around for a little while now. His 7th tournament right here. We love to see that. We love to see the regulars keep coming back for more, even though Volcanic has never beat Stage 1. He is still a fun competitor to watch, and he did get by the cone jump, so that's a good start. Now he's onto the rolling escargot. He is standing on it, staying at the front. He jumps early, but he makes it. Volcanic Crowd onto the TIE Fighter, the obstacle. He beat it in the last tournament. So let's see if he can do it here in Tournament 20. He gets through it. Yes, look at that. Volcanic Crowd, time for some revenge on the Jump Hang Kai. He jumps, he bounces, and no, he comes up short again. 2 tournaments in a row out on the Jump Hang Kai for Volcanic Crowd. He went to the left side. He bounced. It looked like he got the bounce right, but I think he aimed too far to the left, which makes it an even further jump. And because of that, he came up short. Anyway, after that, we had Boston Strong. He was strong enough to get past the cone jump, but touched the track on the rolling escargot and failed. And then a Yankee Matt 100 almost made it, but then he just ran off without jumping. Broza actually jumped, but had the worst jump you've ever seen, and came up short on the rolling escargot. And then this guy, I'm a Mr. Penguin. Yeah, he's a Mr. on the tracks now, which is illegal. He tried to jump back and died as he deserved. And then we had Shin Dude 3 at number 910. He slipped off and hit the track as well, so we are already seeing that the track is doing as much damage as anything else. He tried to keep yeah, your run's over, Shin Dude. You can't keep going. But that brings us to number 911. We've got HNW Superman right here. And while HNW Superman is his name, he has not been very super on this course. Last tournament, he went out on the TIE Fighter. Can he get back there? Let's see. Superman onto the cone jump. Gets the second one. And makes it to the dismount. Looking good on that first obstacle. Now the rolling escargot. Is that a sentinel beam he's got? If so, that's pretty cool. He should use it here on the rolling escargot. No, that'd be a horrible idea. He jumps really early and gets an amazing save jump. That was nicely done by Superman. And now he's onto the obstacle he failed in the last tournament. Can he get revenge? Oh, he's coming up so close on these. Wow. He just grinded his way through that obstacle, and now he's onto the Jump Hang Kai. He jumps. He bounces. He's into it. Look at this guy. Superman putting up a really good run right now, and he gets over the first ledge inside the Jump Hang Kai. Gets to the second one. Now for the dismount. Oh, look at this guy. Putting on a really solid run now for the crooked wall, but he comes up short. And we have our first crooked wall failure of Tournament 20, but still a very solid run from HNW Superman. And now we've got Mighty Max 80 back for his second appearance in the last tournament. He just whiffed on the first obstacle, came up short of the dismount, jumped incredibly early. Now he's got to try to figure out this first obstacle, the cone jump. He gets onto the second one, and it jumps to the dismount, looking pretty good. Rolling escargot time. This obstacle did a lot of damage early. Mighty Max, he's got that crouch technique. This is a very comfortable technique for a lot of competitors out there. You crouch, you stay at the front of the ball, and you just keep on walking to the left, and it works for him. He gets down to the bottom and jumps to the dismount. Now for the TIE Fighter. Mighty Max jumps into it. He's going to stay on one side of the TIE Fighter. No transitions back and forth, and it works for him. Now he's onto the Jump Hang Kai. He jumps, he bounces, and he lands inside. But he's going to walk around to the outside. Chew up a little bit of time, but play it safe. Now he's on to the crooked wall. Can he get it? He runs for it. He goes super high. Oh my goodness. He treated that thing like a warped wall. All right, he's going for it a second time. I can't believe he even saved that, but he comes up short this time. And Mighty Max, just like HNW Superman, falls on the crooked wall. He almost made it up. Look at this. Wow. I can't believe he saved that. The fact that he got a second attempt is amazing. But his second attempt, unfortunately, came up short. He meleeed it on the way down as a sign of anger and frustration, disappointment. Hopefully he'll come back for Tournament 21 stronger. Talking King is up next. He is a regular, making his third appearance, and he is shooting the ground. A lot of people shoot the ground for their intro. In the last tournament, he got onto the butterfly wall, but could not get off. This tournament, there is no butterfly wall, so let's see what he does. Talking King. In the previous tournament, 2 tournaments ago, tournament 18, he did fail the first obstacle of stage 1, so he showed a little bit of progress. And he's continuing to show some signs of life here as he got past the first obstacle, and now he is taking the slow way on the rolling escargot. Not too bad. Wow. Okay, he's going really slow here. He is making sure he stays to the front. Okay, but he jumps off early. I'll give him that. That's fine. If you're going to take the slow technique, it's cool because you dismount early. That was good by Talking King. Now he's going through the TIE Fighter. Look at this guy. What Talking King did we see in the last 2 tournaments? This guy's moving right now. He's into the jump hang kai even. All right. I like what I'm seeing right now. He gets through it. And Talking King is onto the crooked wall. You can tell he's practiced a lot more for this tournament. He goes for it, and Talking King gets the crooked wall. Now, can he be the first competitor to get up the warped wall this tournament? Oh, not on his first attempt. It was close. His feet slipped off, but this time he gets up it, and he's still got 30 seconds left. The first competitor to take on the Dragon Glider, a brand new obstacle. He gets into the head slide, goes for the jump, and no, Talking King comes up short of the second head slide. And he has some company in the water now. That was a magnificent run from Talking King, but here on the Dragon Glider, he crouched right there to get onto the bar. He lost all of his momentum. When you lose your momentum, you don't get the distance you need. But that was still a solid run from Talking King. And then right after that, we had Digitized Havoc, who got a little closer, but couldn't make the dismount on the Dragon Glider. It's a really tough obstacle. Nuke Dukem got his name backwards and failed the rolling escargot. He jumped out of the water, though. That was cool. Mixtape 469 went out on the TIE Fighter, as did WPX, Copy, and Pust. It's supposed to be Paste, but you know what I mean. FOPG Lone Wolf didn't know which way to go on the Jump Hang Kai. Number 918 right there. And then number 919, Thy Noodleness, is up next. He is a newcomer. You're taking on stage 1. This guy actually makes some really cool jump maps and other custom games on Halo 5. So I highly recommend that you check him out. Search his gamertag, add him, whatever you got to do to find his maps. But let's see how he does here on stage 1. Look at this on the rolling escargot. Standing up, taking it like a man, and he gets through it. All right, and now he's onto the TIE Fighter. Newcomers tend to struggle with obstacles like these, but we've seen some pretty decent performances and a really nice run through the TIE Fighter right there from Noodleness. And he bounces up into the Jump Hang Kai. He is looking really good, just like Wolf Ninja did at number 1. But this is number 19. Can he get past the crooked wall? He lines up for it. He sprints, he jumps, and he absolutely crushes it. That was a great attempt right there from Noodleness. And, okay, he's going to go for the spring jump technique on the warped wall, but it did not work. Can he get it this time? Oh, okay, he spring jumps up it. A new technique right there. Some people can pull it off. Not bad. Thy Noodleness now onto the Dragon Glider. We saw 2 people fail it so far. Out of the 2 that have attempted it, can Noodleness do it? He's going through it. Can he dismount? Yes, he can. Thy Noodleness is on to the balance bridge. Jumping right through it, the 3rd pallet, and he's on to the lumberjack climb. He's still got plenty of time left. Is Thy Noodleness going to be the first clear? No, he comes up short. Can he save it? He can't. And Thy Noodleness is out on stage 1. Why does it have to be this way? Look at this. He came up short of the last jump of stage 1. Oh my goodness. That is so hard to watch. We would have had our first newcomer clear stage 1 since tournament 18. But Thy Noodleness comes up 1 jump short. Cheese's Life is up next at number 920. I'm sorry, guys. This is going to take me a while to get over that failure. All right, Cheese. Can you make me forget it? I don't know. Cheese's Life 5 onto the cone jump. All right, he goes through it fast. That's a good way to make me forget that last run. All right, what's he going to do? He's going to crouch on the rolling escargot here. All right, taking it slow. I got no problem with that. Let's see if he dismounts early, though, like Talking King did. Oh, yeah, there you go. Oh, Cheese, that was really early. Wow. What a save jump there from Cheese's Life. Now he's on to the TIE Fighter. Gonna jump back and forth. Keep it going. All right, nicely done. Now he's on to the Jump Hang Kai. He jumps. He bounces. He's into it. What's he gonna do? He's gonna jump over there for no reason, but why not? Whatever makes you feel good, Cheese. All right, Cheese is through the Jump Hang Kai. Can he get the crooked wall. He goes for it. And no, Cheese's life comes up short. Another crooked wall failure. 20 runs in. We still have yet to see anyone clear stage 1. Thy noodleness, why didn't you do it? Why didn't you make that last jump? Whatever, it's Crown Ferret's turn now. Crown Ferret 19, this is actually Irish 1200.
It's his first time on the course, how's he gonna do? And now he's onto the rolling ball, and he's taking his time, and he's missed it! He's missed it! That's gonna have to mean disqualification.
So that was actually a clip of him competing on Ninja Warrior of Halo Tournament 3. He's been around for a very long time, but this is his first time on Halo Ninja Warrior. I don't know why it took him so long to compete, but he is moving through the cone jump, and he does get through it. Now for the rolling escargot. We just saw as he failed on his first ever Ninja Warrior of Halo appearance on that rolling ball. Let's see if he can do this rolling ball. He's actually looking really good right now. He's rolling fast at the end. He dismounts, and he makes it. Crown Ferret, Irish 1200, whatever you want to call him. He is on to the TIE Fighter, and he's going to crouch jump into it. Interesting technique there. He doesn't get a second jump. And he slips off the window. Crown Ferret out on the TIE Fighter. Either way, thanks for competing on Halo Ninja Warrior finally. Now we've got Serious Gamer 117 making his third appearance. He was not very serious about the last tournament. He came up short of only the second step. Now it's time to see if he can make some improvements. There's only 2 jumps right here on the first obstacle. Just those two cones, those 2 balls. There's not as many as there were steps in the last tournament. He does get through it. Now he's on to the rolling escargot. We've seen a lot of people so far take this one nice and slow, which is fine. I mean, the time limit on the stage is not the most generous, but it's also fair. He jumps and he doesn't get any momentum moving towards the dismount, and that's how you come up short, ladies and gentlemen. Gotta be careful with that. Anyway, next up, we've got the Sloth Bouse. This guy is making his second appearance. His newcomer performance was a little lackluster. He went out on the butterfly wall. But there are some shocking butterfly wall failures in the last tournament. I mean, you got Bradley Freakin', you got Expose, but the Sloth Boss just destroyed the cone jump. That was awesome. And now he's on to the rolling escargot. He's standing on it like a true bouse. That's what the bosses do. They stand on it, and he dismounts beautifully. All right, now he's running on over into the TIE Fighter. Got to get these back and forth jumps. He's doing very nicely right now. The Sloth Bouse looking really good. All right, he goes for the jump hang kai. Can he get this? He jumps, he bounces, he's into it, and he gets up to the first ledge, jumps to the next ledge, and he is on to the crooked wall. Look at the Sloth Boss. Bouse. Oh, no. He had such a nice run going, but that crooked wall takes him out. Well, either way, massive improvement over his Tournament 19 newcomer performance. And another guy back for his second appearance is Arc 407. He was Fire Arc before, and he just vanished in the last tournament. I didn't even see him fail. He fell behind the dismount platform in regards to the camera angle, so it kind of confused me. But now he's back. Let's see if he can go in the middle this time. Let's see. Come on, do it. There you go. Oh, he's almost to the right of it. But now Arc is onto the rolling escargot. He is standing on top of it. He's got the shotgun. I always worried that someone's going to shoot it and it's going to go flying. All right, he dismounts, and he gets it. Time for the TIE Fighter. Shooting this obstacle will do nothing, so he's going to jump back and forth. He gets across and makes the big leap for the dismount. Now it's time for the jump hang kai. He sprints, he jumps, he bounces, and he doesn't get outside far enough. He was still a little bit inside in relation to that ledge, and he failed it. Well, after 24 failures on stage 1, no one has cleared. Let's hope our next jumper is ready. Making his 7th consecutive appearance is the regular Avows the Samurai. Avows made his first appearance back in Tournament 14, and while he hasn't missed the tournament since, he also has yet to complete Stage 1. On his newcomer performance, he only managed to defeat the first obstacle as he went swimming on the X Bridge. He made huge improvements going into Tournament 15, but couldn't get up the warped wall before the clock hit 0. And surprisingly, he had the exact same result in Tournament 16. His Halo 5 career got off to a rocky start as he went out on the rolling escargot, but in Tournament 18 he put up his personal best performance, beating the warped wall and going out on the flying chute. He couldn't make it back there in the last tournament as he failed the bridge jump, but now after 6 first stage failures, we'll see if Avows can use his experience to finally prevail on Stage 1. So for a guy who's had some very back and forth runs on stage 1, we want to see him do well. We want to see him reach that buzzer. Let's see if Tournament 20 will be the time he can do it. His first test, the cone jump, a pretty simple obstacle. Aside from like the first group of competitors, no one has really struggled with that one. And now he's onto the rolling escargot. He just failed this recently in Tournament 17, 3 tournaments ago. Not that long ago, if you really think about it. And he is looking much better today. All right, he's going to jump to the right side, and it looks like he is going to stick on the right side. He gets all those jumps, makes it to the landing, and now for the jump hang kai. He beat this in both of the last 2 tournaments, and he's into it this time, going around the outside. And yes, he's looking good. He's usually really good at that obstacle, actually. Now for the crooked wall. Oh, okay, he takes a false attempt right there. He's going to back up and try it again. He runs, he jumps, he goes for it, and he almost did it too well. I thought he nailed it. What just happened to Avows the Samurai? I thought he hit the log right there. Let's see. He sprints, he jumps, and wow, I guess he just didn't get a jump. It looked like he landed on it and had an opportunity to jump, but he didn't make it.
Oh, you serious?
No. He
Aw.
had that. Holy
That
fuck.
was so close.
His heels like brushed it.
That is very, very unfortunate for Avows the Samurai. But that crooked wall is really tough. 9 people have tried it. Only 4 of them have gotten by. And none of those 4 were able to clear. Next up, we've got another newcomer, Arman Manarma. That's right, 90 seconds on stage 1. Let's see how he does. All right, he is on the first of the cone jumps. He's going to jump onto the cone. All right. Nope, and he's back down. No, okay. Yep. Oh, goodness, what's he doing? Come on. All right, he's wasting a lot of time here. He jumps to the next cone, and then he just walks off. Oh, goodness. All right, obviously no one taught him how to do that obstacle, but it's all right. Anyway, right after that, we had Pabst Master, who just... I'm not even going to talk about that. Charlie and Owen was up next. He went out inside the jump hang kai. You always hate to see that. Much Doge Lord touched the track on the rolling escargot, something we've seen a lot of competitors do. NKCA 2018 slipped off the ball at the very end of the track. Textural Skate slipped off the front in the middle of the track. Plump Aphid slipped off the back at the end of the track. Are you keeping track of this? And then NLD Demon Drifter just jumped on the track. People are jumping all over that thing. Elias Lindholm, he was going pretty nicely on the TIE Fighter until he got too far back. And then Nightmare God continued the trend of touching the track on the rolling escargot. At least he fell in the water afterwards. That always makes it a little bit better. But 31 people have attempted that obstacle. 14 of them have failed. That's a lot of failures on one obstacle. Anyway, let's see how our next newcomer does. This is Fuse Light. Fuse Light. That sounds like it could be a drink. All right, he's got the needler. He's rolling through the cone jump. If anyone takes that idea, if you create a brand called Fuse Light, I'm gonna be very upset. Well, he had to reset that, and that's gonna cost him a little bit of time, but he gets back on it, and he is rolling. He's staying a little far back on the ball. It's gonna pick up speed if he's not careful. Wow, Fuse Light handles it like a pro. That was nicely done. And now he is on to the TIE Fighter. All right. He jumps into it on the left side. He's going to go back and forth. He gets too far forward and was unable to get a jump on the other window. And that's too bad for Fuse. Good luck with the drink, though. Oh, goodness. I forgot this guy was competing. All right. 97 Grizzlies. This guy timed out in the Warped Duel in the last tournament. Yeah. I don't think he got shot to death. He did get shot to death in Tournament 17. That was really satisfying. All right, Ninty. He's actually been competing pretty well for the last few tournaments. He hasn't beat stage 1 yet, though. Let's see if he could do that in Tournament 20. That would be something to see. Well, he is rolling very fast on the rolling escargot, but he pulls it off. And now he's on to the TIE Fighter. He did this in the last tournament. He's going to jump back and forth. Ninty doesn't get a jump off the second window. And Ninty's Tournament 20 ends a little earlier than we may have expected. I can surprisingly say that. Oh, this is the best gamer tag. Itchy Crevice. He's back for a second tournament. He was in the last tournament, and he was another one of those butterfly wall victims. Now at number 38, there's a lot of competitors in this tournament who are competing for their second time, and I like seeing that. All right, Itchy Crevice, he's off. Wow, look at those moves. All right, he looked really good on the cone jump. Let's see if he can improve over his second obstacle failure in the last tournament by beating this very tough rolling escargot. He looks really comfortable on it. He's facing forward. He is not facing the wall. I like seeing different people using different techniques there. Now for the TIE Fighter. Ninty just failed this. It really is an obstacle anyone can fail at any moment, but Itchy Crevice, oh, he gets really low on the dismount, but he makes it work, and now for the jump hang kai, he bounces, and Itchy Crevice is into it. Look at this dude. He is making huge improvements. We've seen a couple competitors make big improvements over the last tournament. He seems to be struggling to get through this, though. All right, he finally works out all the crouch jumps, and with 45 seconds left, he's onto the crooked wall. Can he pull this off? He goes for it, and Itchy Crevice gets the crooked wall. What a run from this guy. Onto the warped wall now. Can he get up into one? I think he would have had it there if he crouched. That was a mistake by him. 30 seconds now. Oh, you really want to get up it with more than 30 seconds left. He's going to be itching for time if he's itching anything, honestly. Oh, wow. Okay. 20 seconds now onto the warped wall. Itchy Crevice goes for it again. He still can't get it. And he's crouching all over the warped wall. That's not going to help him at all. All right, Itchy Crevice. Oh, God, don't fall off the back. All right, he's down to just 6 seconds left. It's not going to be enough time, unfortunately. Itchy Crevice, he's meleeing the wall. He knows his run is over, and Itchy Crevice does time out on the warped wall. However, after failing the butterfly wall in the last tournament, that is a huge improvement again. And I love seeing competitors come back for their second time and make those improvements. We'll see what he has in store for the future. Hopefully, he'll be back for Tournament 21. But his Tournament 20 run, it does end on the warped wall. And just like that, 38 competitors have failed this first stage, but our next jumper is the first person competing in this tournament who has defeated stage 1 in the past. Making only his 4th appearance on this course is the longtime Halo jumper Soul Reaper 1025. Soul has an incredibly spread out list of tournaments that he's appeared in, including the first ever tournament where he failed the final obstacle of stage 1. He didn't return until Tournament 7, where he made it to the metal spin on Stage 2, and then went on an even longer hiatus, not competing again until Tournament 16. After competing only 3 times in a 16 tournament span, he decided, why not take another break and miss the first 3 Halo 5 tournaments? Finally, he is back again, and the man who made his debut in Tournament 1 has made it back for the landmark 20th tournament. Soul Reaper is only one of like 4 competitors who's in this tournament who is also in Tournament 1, but he has only 4 appearances. This is going to be awesome to watch him run, and he moves through the cone jump, no problems. Now for the rolling escargot. He's going to stand up on it. All right, Soul. He's looking pretty good right now. He's going fast, and he jumps off a little early and nails the dismount. Now for the TIE Fighter. He's jumping back and forth. Can he defeat this? Yes, he can. Now time for some revenge. This is where he failed in Tournament 16. He bounces, and he lands inside of it. There we go. Soul making some improvements. And he's hopping over them. Oh, no, Soul, he jumps out. And he has no chance to save it. Soul Reaper, and I don't know who that was. That just fell in the water. But Soul actually landed inside the jump hang kai this time. But look at this. He jumps over the first one nicely. But the second time he jumps, he stands too close to the wall. And it pushes him out. You got to get some separation between you and the wall before you jump onto that ledge. Soul did not do that, and his Tournament 20 run is over, but it was still great to see him compete after missing every tournament since Tournament 16, and that brings us to number 40 of Tournament 20. Competing in his 7th tournament is Strafe Helix, previously known as Vulcan 1610. Strafe's first Halo Ninja Warrior run came in Tournament 10, and he participated in all of the final 3 Xbox 360 tournaments. He even managed to clear Stage 1 in Tournament 12, but went out on the swing ladder of Stage 2. He missed all of the MCC tournaments, but made his return on Halo 5, where it took him 2 more first stage failures to get back into his rhythm. In the last tournament, he completed Stage 1 for the 2nd time in his career, and went for a risky technique on the balance tank that ultimately backfired. Now we will see if the new veteran can keep his momentum from the last tournament and defeat this stage for his 3rd time. Well, we are already way past the longest streak of Stage 1 failures that this course has seen. 39 people have failed it. Can Strafe be the one to break that streak? He looks really comfortable on the cone jump, and now he's onto the rolling escargot. It looks like he kind of got it moving as he jumped up to it. Interesting way to stand on the back of the ball, but Strafe makes it work, and now he is on to the TIE Fighter. Strafe going and changing his gamer tag right after he makes himself very well known, beating stage 1 in 19, but now we gotta call him something different. So Vulcan, no more. Strafe Helix is here, and he's into the jump hang kai. He goes around the outside, wants to play it safe. Takes a little more time, but not actually too much. Now for the crooked wall, can he do this? Strafe nails the crooked wall. What a run right there. Now for the warped wall, can he get up it in one? And no. We have seen a lot of people struggle on this warped wall already, and he fails it on a second attempt. But luckily, Strafe had a really good pace up until this point. He is up the warped wall on his third attempt. And now for the Dragon Glider. He sprints, he jumps, bounces, a little bit of lag right there, but he's into the first glider and jumps to the second one. Strafe Helix is through. Now onto the balance bridge. He skips to the second pallet, still lagging a little bit, and he's on to the lumberjack climb. We saw Thy Noodleness get here and fail. Can Strafe do it? Oh no, he slips. Oh, but Strafe is able to save it. That was huge. He still got so much time, and Strafe Helix is going back to stage 2 for the second tournament in a row. What a run from Strafe. 10.5 seconds left. Look at this. First off, that's a tough obstacle, the crooked wall. It's a new one, but he handles it with ease. He slipped up a little bit on the warped wall, and it did cost him some time, but eventually he scaled it and then made an incredible save on the lumberjack climb, something Thy Noodleness could not do. But Strafe did it, and he climbed all the way to the top.
There you go.
Second time, baby. Let's go.
And for the third time in his career, Vulcan, now known as Strafe Helix, will be moving on to stage 2. And he is the first person advancing today, and he's number 40. Well done, Strafe Helix. Now at number 941, we've got Mountain Dew Me, a newcomer. I like Mountain Dew. I'm not sponsored by them or anything. I wish that'd be awesome if Halo Ninja Warrior sponsored by Mountain Dew. Not quite, but he is on stage 1 and he's off stage 1. Just like that. All right, well, there goes that sponsor. 941 in the water. Next up is number 942. This is the Great Tal. The Great Tal? No, I'm going to go with Tal. The Great Tal, he's a newcomer, and he's got nice orange armor. Patty Freakin would be kind of proud of him. All right, the Great Tal is onto the rolling escargot, though. He did better than Mountain Dew Me. The Great Tal, oh no, he slips out the front. He touched the track, and he jumps into the water, gets shot on the way down, too. I don't know who's shooting at him, but that's not cool. Just let the man fail on his own. Slacktastic is up next. I like that name. That's a cool name. Slacktastic. All right, let's see how he does on stage 1. 90 seconds. Spin the time limit all tournament, and it's not going to change at all. He gets through the cone jump, and now he's on to the rolling escargot. Jumps on, and all right, he's made it further than the Great Tal. But Slack, standing up on it, you know I like that. I'm a big fan of anyone who stands on the rolling escargot, and Slacktastic manages to pull it off. Now he's on to the TIE Fighter. Can he pull this one off? He gets one jump, but he doesn't get a second jump. Slacktastic is in the water on the TIE Fighter. And 3 runs after Strafe's clear. We've seen first three obstacle failures. Next up, we have actually got a returning competitor. This is Kursued. I think that's how you say it. He failed the TIE Fighter in the last tournament, but he's back. He's putting a little bit of practice. We always love to see competitors return for a second appearance, even when their first appearance didn't go as well as they might have hoped. But Kursued right now is on the rolling escargot, kind of crouching to get it rolling, and he is going to stay crouched on it. Nothing wrong with that. I know I say that I love it when people stand up. Oh, he's standing up now. He heard me talk about it. But I really just want people to get past the obstacle, honestly. So whatever you got to do to get by it, Kursued manages to do that. Now he's onto the obstacle. He failed in the last tournament, and he fails it again. Kursued did not learn his lesson. That TIE Fighter has taken him out 2 tournaments in a row. That is very unfortunate. Next up, we've got C Degree 625412. He's actually got a YouTube channel called Jedi Spartan, so you can go check him out right there. Or is it Spartan Jedi? I think it's Jedi Spartan. All right, well, either way, he's on the cone jump right now. He gets a bad jump, and he doesn't make it to the dismount. Well, hopefully his YouTube channel and the videos are longer than his run was. Next up, we've got Petrillo Fam 4, another newcomer. This guy is actually a huge fan. I think the first time I talked to him, all right, and he's got some moves on the cone jump. He moved right through that very fast. Yeah, I think the first time I talked to Petrillo Fam, he was dropping some Halo Ninja Warrior knowledge. He had some fun facts, some trivia. He knew a lot of info, and he's apparently knows the course pretty well because he just dominated the rolling escargot. Now for the TIE Fighter, this is a very, very tough obstacle for newcomers. But Petrillo is looking really good, and he gets through it. Can he get the jump hang kai? He bounces, and he's into it. Petrillo fam 4. Hopping through the inside of the jump hang kai. Now it's time for the crooked wall. Can he get it? He jumps, and he nails the crooked wall. Now for the warped wall. Can he get up it in 1? Yes, he can. He's still got 45 seconds left. That is a lot of time to get past these last 3 obstacles. Can we see a newcomer do this? We've seen Die Noodleness beat the Dragon Glider as a newcomer. And Petrillo fam, he is the second newcomer to get onto the balance bridge. Can we get a newcomer to beat stage 1 this tournament? He's got to do the lumberjack climb now. Don't mess it up. Take these crouch jumps slowly, cautiously. He's got enough time. Petrillo fam, 1 jump away. He hits it. He hops up. And Petrillo fam, the newcomer, is moving on to stage 2. The next competitor to join Strafe Helix. That is awesome. We didn't have a newcomer clear stage 1 in Tournament 19, but Petrillo fam comes in clutch for Tournament 20. 16.6 seconds left. There are a lot of tough obstacles on this stage, and he did all of them borderline perfectly. He didn't look like he was struggling at any part of this course. He had a nice smooth run and a good amount of time left. That is incredible. Well, congratulations to Petrillo fam. He's getting shot at by the spectators, as you can expect, because they're excited. And I'm pretty excited too. Petrillo fam will be joining Strafe Helix on stage 2 as number 946. And that brings us to this group of newcomers that weren't as fortunate. Ethan failed the rolling escargot. No Plex couldn't even get to the rolling escargot. And then we had Viperine Cloth 76. He slipped off the track like the most anticlimactic fail ever. Hermit 9035 failed the TIE Fighter at number 950, so now we are past the halfway point. Jeremy the Great 2 failed the jump hang kai, and MLG Pro Champion wasn't a champion of this course. Chicken Hawk was skateboarding on the course. I didn't know that was allowed in Halo in general. I don't know what he was doing, but eventually he failed the cone jump. So that was awkward. Spaghetti Hoops, he just walked into the water on the rolling escargot, and now we've had 54 attempts at this course and 2 clears. That brings us on to number 955. This guy is a rising star on this course. Returning after his breakout performance from last tournament is Atlantic Champ. This is his 4th time competing on the course, however it could have been his 5th. Back in Tournament 16, Atlantic tried out on the qualifier course, but did not perform well enough to make it into the actual tournament. Then with a chip on his shoulder, he made it into Tournament 17, but struggled early as he failed the step slider. He improved in Tournament 18, getting to the jump hang kai, but Tournament 19 is where he put himself on the map. Not only did he improve over his previous runs, but he had his personal best by a long shot, getting all the way to stage 3. He failed relatively early on the Sidewinder, but that incredible run showed how hard he's worked on his jumping skills, and it paid off. Now we will see if this young star can continue to impress us in Tournament 20. I know in the last tournament I really drove home this guy's story on the course, but I had to. It's just such a good story. So you heard it just there. I'm not going to go over it again, but Atlantic Champ, he is back on stage 1, and he wants to prove that last tournament was no fluke. It wasn't that he handed the controller to some other jumper who's been doing it for longer, but this is just Atlantic being an improved competitor, and that's what it looks like so far as he's through the first 2 obstacles, and now on to the TIE Fighter. He jumps off it pretty early and looks really good. Onto the jump hang kai, bounces, he is into it, and he's gonna go around the outside. Hopping through, going pretty fast. I know the outside is supposed to be a slower technique, but when you do it that fast, it doesn't really matter. The crooked wall, Atlantic Champ dominates it. And now he's on to the warped wall. Can he get up this in 1? Atlantic Champ is up it in 1, and he looks so good. He's not even going to back up on the Dragon Glider. He goes right for it, and Atlantic gets the jump, and he's into the second head slide, and he makes the dismount. Look at this kid go. He skips to the second pallet, and he's already onto the lumberjack climb. He is flying through this course right now. Easily on par for the fastest time, and 24.4 seconds left. Atlantic Champ is going back to stage 2 for his 2nd tournament in a row. This guy is the real deal. 24.4 seconds left. That is amazing. And he is now the third person to clear stage 1 in this tournament. He will join Stray Felix and Petrillo fam. But man, does that prove a lot right there. That run shows a lot about Atlantic. Last tournament, he got to stage 3. Now he's back on stage 2 for the second tournament in a row. Let's go on to Grind and Kush Jr. now. He's on the cone jump. And he gets through it. All right, time for the rolling escargot. So far, we've still seen a lot of damage from this obstacle. I mean, it's really been tearing people up. But he is standing on it, and he handles it super nicely. What a great run. Grind and Kush, excellent. He punches the switch on the TIE Fighter. That's not a good sign. He gets a jump. He gets 2 jumps. Can he keep it going? No, he can't. Grind and Kush Jr. is out on the TIE Fighter. Hey, shout out to the way he did the rolling escargot, though. Next up, we've got Marine 47. Too bad he's number 57 instead of number 47. But here he goes on stage 1, the cone jump. All right, early crouch right there, and he gets through the first obstacle. Now for the rolling escargot. Gets on it. Oh, looks like he's going to stand, too. People must have been hearing that I like it when people stand. And look at Marine. Marine looks super solid. He gets a bit of a weird jump off the end there to the dismount, but he makes it. And now he's on to the TIE Fighter. All right. TIE Fighter time. Come on, Marine. He's wasting a lot of time. He's down to 1 minute, and now he's going for it. Looking pretty good right now. Come on, Marine, get through it. There you go. Nice jump forward right there. Now he's on to the jump hang kai. Can the newcomer beat this obstacle? He is taking a very, very long time here. He's going to size it up. He didn't even sprint. And he hits his head on the corner, but didn't really get that close to beating the obstacle. Still, a pretty solid run right there from Marine. And now we are on to Biggie D 187. Another newcomer. Got some Australians here. This guy's an Australian competitor. Another orange competitor, too. We're seeing a lot of orange today. The rolling escargot is orange, too, so that's kind of weird. All right, he gets way far to the back of the ball. He's going to have to reset that one. He didn't touch the incline part of the track, so he is still he's still good to go on the course. If you touch the slanted part of the track, it is a disqualification. But Biggie D, he's crouching on the ball. He actually had some pretty good speed on it there for a while. Slows down towards the end, and he finally gets off. He's down to a minute as well, just like Marine was. Come on, Biggie D, get this TIE Fighter. He's jumping back and forth now. All right, Biggie D looking really good right now. He keeps going. He jumps forward, and he doesn't make it to the dismount. Biggie D, he was so close, yet so far away. His dead body will forever be there right before the jump hang kai. But next up, we've got Grave Relic. This guy is actually competing in his second tournament. He failed the butterfly wall in tournament 19. And now he is back. First off the cone jump. Gets the first one, jumps to the second one, and he slips off and fails. Well, that was a downgrade from tournament 19. Now let's move on to number 60.
If I had to be honest, I don't think I'm feeling quite as confident as I was last tournament. There's a couple new obstacles on this stage 1 that really have me worried. Particularly the cricket wall and the dragon glider. But I feel like if I can get past these 2 obstacles, I stand a good chance on getting back to stage 2.
Next up is last tournament's second place finisher, RPG 445. Rog has competed in every Halo 5 tournament, and so far, he's improved every time. His first appearance in tournament 17 saw him fail early on stage 1, and his tournament 18 run ended in heartbreak at the very end of the first stage. In the last tournament, he finally hit that buzzer on stage 1 and did the exact same thing on stage 2. His stage 3 run was equally impressive, as he was the first of only 2 competitors to complete the crazy cliffhanger, and he eventually failed the beginning of the vertical limit kai. While Rog's jumping skills have grown, so has his YouTube channel, where he hosts Spartan Sasuke.
Hello everyone, and in just a few weeks, a new era of Spartan Sasuke will begin.
Now it's time to see if Rog's upward trajectory can continue, starting with this first stage. Seeing Rog's course take off kind of reminds me a lot of my own course back on Halo 4, except his is here on Halo 5, and Rog is a big-time jumper here on Halo 5 as well, and he is already through the cone jump now for the rolling escargot. Rog would love to join Atlantic Champ on clearing stage 1 for the second tournament in a row. Rog jumps off the rolling escargot very quickly, very far away, and he nailed it for the TIE Fighter. He's done this obstacle both of the last 2 tournaments, and he does it again. Now for the jump hang kai. He bounces up into it, and it's time to jump through.
Alright, this is it. This is one. One of the 2.
Yes, this is one of the obstacles he was worried about. He goes for it, and yes!
One down. Come on. Let's go. Come on.
Now for the warped wall. Can he get up this in 1? Yes, he can.
Alright, this is the other one. It's make or break. Do or die.
Time to get that good bounce. Come on, Rog. He bounces. He's into it. Sliding through. He jumps.
Yes.
Oh! Rog has done it. He's defeated the Dragon Glider. Now for the balance bridge. Don't mess this one up, Rog. He's got it onto the lumberjack climb.
Hey,
You're good. Take your time.
Come on. Come on. 2 more. 1 more.
panic. Don't
Yeah.
Let's go, boys. Stage
Bro,
2.
I was holding my laugh.
Let's go.
It's like right when it's like, oh.
Well, that is amazing. You can tell how excited he is. Let's hear a little bit more from Rog.
Let's freaking go, Smokey. But man, I was freaking scared because like that crooked wall and Dragon Glide, I was so nervous when I got there. I knew those were the make or break obstacles, but I'm glad I'm moving back on to stage 2. So let's freaking go! Rock party, baby! Woo!
That might be the greatest interview of all time.
I'm going to have to agree with Snoz on that one. It's going to be really hard to top that interview. And Rog is our 4th competitor, moving on to stage 2. That's just that raw reaction, that true excitement of beating stage 1. I love it from Rog. And now here's long shot Arrow 76. This guy is an aspiring jumper here on Halo 5, and he jumps through the cone jump. Now for the rolling escargot. He is crouching on top of it. He's got that good kind of sliding to the left method. Jumps off early, and now he's on to the TIE Fighter. This guy is a newcomer. This is a tough newcomer obstacle, but Longshot is jumping back and forth, and he dismounts nice and early, gets onto the jump hang kai. He bounces, and Longshot is into the jump hang kai. He's going to jump through the inside and advance to the crooked wall. Can he defeat this obstacle? He goes, he jumps, he barely makes it onto that little log, but he does get it, and now he's onto the warped wall, and he is up it in 1 long shot Arrow. Can we get another newcomer on stage 2? He's onto the Dragon Glider right now. Going through it, and oh no, he crouched, he lost his momentum, and long shot goes out on the Dragon Glider. That is a key part of this obstacle, is keeping your momentum. Long shot, unfortunately, it looks like he crouched to try to get onto it, and that made him lose his momentum.
Hey, that's a damn good run, though, dude.
Yeah, I would say any newcomer that can manage to get past the warped wall, that's an incredible run, and Rog, who just cleared stage 1, is watching as long shot came up a little bit short of matching that. Anyway, after that, we had Ace Nickel 92425, who didn't live up to either of the last 2 runs. He failed the first obstacle, as did Jurassic Kid. And then we had Featon. Featon, this is actually a guy from Denmark. He failed the TIE Fighter. He seems excited to come back for Tournament 21, though. SW Cinder failed the cone jump as well. And then we had Demigods in his 2nd tournament. He failed the first obstacle. He got to the TIE Fighter last tournament. Armo Lock 967 slipped off right at the end of the rolling escargot. I almost said balance tank. And then we had Dat Salmon fail the TIE Fighter as well. Era Wrath, the longtime competitor, went out on the Dragon Glider, didn't get a jump off the pole. And now we are on to our 70th competitor. This is King Sparkety, who had a heartbreaking failure last tournament, getting all the way to the lumberjack climb. He didn't even fall in the water. He just ran out of time because he kept slipping off of it. He kept saving it, but you know, you run out of time if you keep slipping. All right, and now he is on to the warped wall. Can he get up this in 1? Yes, he can. King Sparkety still got lots of time left. We know time was a little bit of an issue for him last tournament. Now it's time for the Dragon Glider. He bounces. He is into it. And now for the big jump. King Sparkety nails it. Oh my goodness, wait, maybe he didn't. Oh, what a save. King Sparkety with an incredible move on the Dragon Glider stays alive. And with 20 seconds left, he is on to the lumberjack climb. This is where he failed in the last tournament. He's still got time. He slips. He slips again. Now the time is going to be an issue. He slips for a second time. King Sparkety. It's just like last tournament. And he falls into the water this time. King Sparkety, for the second tournament in a row, fails the lumberjack climb. I do not believe it. Look at this save on the Dragon Glider. That would have been so amazing if it led to him clearing stage 1. But instead, this happened again. He slipped down, tried to save it too many times, and just couldn't keep it going. King Sparkety, the lumberjack climb. That's 2 tournaments in a row that he made it 1 obstacle away from making it to stage 2. But it just wasn't enough. That is heartbreaking to watch. Now we've got Chut May up next, a newcomer, number 971. Well, we have seen some very disappointing failures, but also some incredible runs here in the kind of the mid-tier of Tournament 20. Let's see how this newcomer does, though. Onto the rolling escargot now. Crouching on it. That's a pretty good pace right there, though. I like that. All right, Chut. Okay, nice kind of slightly early dismount. We like seeing that. Now for the TIE Fighter. An obstacle we've seen a few people fail this so far, for sure. But Chut May gets through it, and Chut is on to the... Oh my god, what just happened on the Jump Hang Kai? There's a little invisible barrier right there. You can't see it because it's invisible. But he actually used that to get more momentum on the trampoline. I don't know if he meant to do that or if that was just luck. But hey, it worked out, and Chut May is on to the crooked wall. Kind of low on time. Only 40 seconds left. That's not the best, not going to lie. But can Chut do this crooked wall? Come on, Chut. You got to go for it eventually. You've only got 32 seconds left. Chut is... That's not what you're supposed to do. It's not the warped wall. It's the crooked wall. Go around it. There you go. Oh, no. It might have been the worst attempt at the crooked wall we've seen, but still an incredible job of Chut to get to that obstacle. Anyway, right after that, we had a couple more failures. Black Shadow 8750 should have got past the rolling escargot, but just missed the dismount platform somehow. And then, I don't know who's running. It was Opixonic. One of those two. He failed the Jump Hang Kai. Not a bad run right there. And then right after that, we had Marksman 22 failed the cone jump, and he multiplied underwater. And now it's time for 75.
My career has been not really a roller coaster. It was just like more of a flat line that gradually went up, and then it just went straight up all at once. There's definitely some added pressure, but I don't think it should affect me too much.
The third of our 3 Tournament 19 breakout performers to compete is Flame Vortex. Unlike Rog and Atlantic, Flame's runs on the course go all the way back to the Xbox 360. He first competed in Tournament 10 as My Mom 47 and failed the giant swing on both of his first 2 appearances. After Tournament 11, he took a long break from the course, not coming back until Tournament 17. After 2 more first stage failures on Halo 5, Flame came into Tournament 19 more prepared than ever. He was able to join his friends in the incredible achievement of beating Stage 1 for the first time, and then even more impressively, completing Stage 2 on his first ever try. Flame ended up failing the crazy cliffhanger on Stage 3 while save jumping on the 4th ledge. Now that he's set a new standard for himself, let's see if he can join Rog and Atlantic on Stage 2 once again.
Let's go, Flame. Alright, you got this, Flameo.
Flame right there getting some love from the crowd. It's really hard to say between him, Rog, and Atlantic who was the most impressive last tournament. I honestly can't answer that. They were all equally impressive to me, but Flame, he's obviously been competing the longest. He started off back in Tournament 10. He actually did this obstacle, the rolling escargot, back in Tournament 10, and then he did in 17, and now he does it again in Tournament 20. Flame Vortex now on to the TIE Fighter. Like I said, he obviously beat this stage in the last tournament. There have been lots of changes, though, so hopefully he doesn't take them for granted. Right now, the Jump Hang Kai. Oh, a close call on the landing. And another close call inside. Flame Vortex looking a little rough on the Jump Hang Kai, but he gets through it. Now time for the crooked wall. He jumps, and he gets it.
Beautiful. That was clean. Take your time.
Loads of time.
A great run right there from Flame. He gets up the warped wall in 1. And now for the Dragon Glider. Plenty of time here. He jumps. He jumped a little late, Oh, Flame. All right, he's bouncing through, and he doesn't get a good jump off the pole. Flame Vortex is out on stage 1. He will not be joining Atlantic and Rog on stage 2. You can see he jumped a little late there, and because of that, he didn't get a smooth ride on that head slide, which caused him to slow down, and he didn't have the speed he needed to land on that pole and get a good jump onto the second head slide. Flame Vortex out on stage 1 for the 5th time in his career. That is very disappointing for Flame. You wanted to see him get back to stage 2 again, but let's hear from him now.
I just jumped too early when I landed on the bar. It's just simple as that. Hopefully I'll get it next time.
You can even tell he sounds defeated as well. The Dragon Glider is a very tough obstacle on stage 1, and it has struck one of those rising stars on Halo 5 that we've been talking about all tournament, but now we are done with the first 3 quarters of the tournament, and now we're on to Elite MKB, who's trying to hide. We can see you, Elite. We know where you are. This veteran is making his 8th appearance today. He competed in the last tournament and failed the jump hang high. Before that, we saw him in Tournament 17. He actually made it to Stage 2 in Tournament 17. A lot of people doubted whether or not Elite could do that on this course. He has been a very successful competitor on Ninja Warrior of Halo. However, his career on Halo Ninja Warrior has been less fortunate. Now he's on the rolling escargot. He is standing on it, and he jumps off nice and early. Elite is on to the TIE Fighter. He's going to jump in to the right side. Gonna bounce back and forth. And he goes for the dismount. Nicely done. Elite onto the obstacle. He failed in the last tournament. He bounces. And this time he gets into it. Well done, Elite MKB. Hopping through the outside. And Elite is onto the crooked wall. He is going for it. Oh, he jumped extremely early and didn't even get close. Elite MKB is out on stage 1 for his 2nd tournament in a row. You can just see he jumped way too early there. Didn't stay close enough to the wall and didn't get the height he needed to clear that obstacle. That is very unfortunate for Elite MKB, but now we are on to a very special competitor. We've got the Ninja Warrior of Roblox host making his first appearance on the course.
It's footing and no! Well, just the fastest of this episode. Still. No! He's falling the bungee bridge!
So there you go, Bubba Ace. We finally got a little taste of Ninja Warrior of Roblox here on the channel. So, yeah, for all those Roblox competitors out there, shout out to you. Your host is competing now. He's on Halo Ninja Warrior, and he's got past the first obstacle. Now for the rolling escargot, Bubba Ace. I always see him in the comments on my videos, so it's really exciting to finally have him here on the course. And look at him go on the rolling escargot. This guy is looking really solid right now. He should be competing more. Now for the TIE Fighter. Gonna jump back and forth. Bubba Ace, look at him go. He gets through the TIE Fighter. Now onto the jump hang high. Can he do this one? He's gonna go to the left side. He jumps and he comes up short. Bubba Ace, it looked really close. I thought he had a pretty good shot of making it there, but he jumped a little early, didn't get a full size bounce, didn't get the distance he needed. I thought he jumped at the right time. I don't know what happened, but Bubba Ace, a valiant effort right there, getting that close to the jump hang high. But anyway, next up we are on to another rising star on Halo 5. Making his 4th appearance on the course is Swantron97, previously known as Sauron Sucks. Swan has been in every Halo 5 tournament, and he started by impressing everyone in the Tournament 17 qualifiers, and then getting all the way to the flying chute on Stage 1. In Tournament 18, he caught the attention of many jumpers on only his 2nd appearance, as he made it all the way to the vertical limit Kai on Stage 3. He ended up finishing in 3rd place that tournament, but he took a slight step backwards in Tournament 19, failing the metal spin on Stage 2. Swan has been one of the most successful competitors on Spartan Sasuke, and has even been hosting his own parkour tournaments with co-host Up Double Ump.
Looks like he's done his homework and he's taken a couple pages out of Phil's book. Wow. And honors through the anticlimactic finish.
2nd ever anticlimactic.
Onto the back massager.
Today, we will see Swan continue his young, impressive career and watch as he attempts to beat Stage 1 for his 3rd time in a row. for how much we've been talking about Atlantic, Rog, and Flame, we gotta talk about Swantron some more. I mean, even though he failed Stage 2 last tournament, this guy is still one of those top dogs on Halo 5 as we speak. And he shows it right there on the cone jump. Now on to the rolling escargot. While Tournament 18 was his breakout performance, he got that breakout performance earlier than some of the other competitors. He jumps off super early and makes an incredible save on the dismount of the rolling escargot. It was almost game over for him right there, but he makes it. And now the TIE Fighter, he makes that as well. But yeah, Swan got off to a hot start. That Stage 3 appearance was only his second time running the course. And now Swan is hopping through the jump hang kai, and he gets through it like butter. Now for the crooked wall. Swan, that is textbook crooked wall action. He cuts a little corner right there. Going on to the warped wall. He doesn't get up it in one, but he's got all the time in the world if he gets up it right here. And he does. Swantron 97, he cuts another corner, going right for the Dragon Glider, and he is sliding through it. Swantron comes up short of the pole. He has failed Stage 1. What just happened? He cut that corner right there, and it looks like he got a weird bounce. He was kind of off to the side the whole time, and he didn't get a smooth ride through that first head slide. Swantron, look at that. He jumps over to the right. Oh, that was a mistake. He just rushed it. That's all he did right there. He rushed it. If he took his time, he could have had it, but Swantron fails Stage 1 for only the second time in his career. And this Dragon Glider is doing a lot of damage. Half of the people who have gotten there have failed it. And now as Sauron falls into the water, the sun is setting on the course here, and O'Rappy is up next. This guy is from Sweden. He's from Sweden, and he makes jump maps on Halo 5, so you should check him out. O'Rappy, no! I hope his jump maps are a little longer than his run. That was unsatisfying. Anyway, next up we've got number 80, Ironbug Champion. The veteran making his 13th appearance, and unfortunately, in all of his last 12 runs, he has never beat Stage 1. He is a veteran by sheer willpower. He just competes so much that he became a veteran, and Ironbug Champion is through the first obstacle of Tournament 20, and now on to the rolling escargot. He actually just missed out on being in the top 20 for this tournament, but he's looking really good right now in the rolling escargot.
Good. That's perfect. That's perfect, Ironbug.
Nice.
If Ironbug had just cleared a Stage 1 at some point in his career, he would have been in the top 20 for this tournament. But unfortunately, he hasn't. That's why he's going to be number 80, the last guy outside of the top 20. And now he's onto an obstacle he's never tried before, the TIE Fighter. We last saw him in Tournament 17, but Ironbug gets through the TIE Fighter on his first try. Now for the Jump Hang Kai, a very tough obstacle. He doesn't get much run up, and Ironbug Champion fails the Jump Hang Kai. What a shame from Ironbug. It wasn't going to be lucky number 13 this time around. Instead, he fails it again. Didn't get that much speed, didn't crouch at the right time, just made all the errors that you can make on the Jump Hang Kai. And that's sad to see.
Oh, no!
That's a good jump.
Oh,
That was a good jump.
But now with Ironbug finishing his run, we have had 80 attempts at this first stage, and 4 of them have cleared. This stage has been looking pretty tough so far, but hopefully we can get an uptick in Stage 1 clears from our next group of competitors. These are all veterans and all-stars of the course. Pandas for Life is at number 981, so he is the number 20 out of the top 20 competitors for Tournament 20. I know, there's a lot of 20s going around, but Panda's doing his signature intro right there with the Needler, and now he's off on the cone jump, and he hops right through it before his needles could even explode. And now he's on to the rolling escargot. Wow, he's like almost doing it backwards, it looks like. He is looking very far to his left, but Panda so far has a pretty nice pace. He has done this obstacle before, multiple times, so hopefully he can do it again. Pandas for Life, he gets it all the way to the bottom. He's taking it very slow, but he gets off of it, and now he's on to the TIE Fighter. Gonna jump into the left side and jump back and forth. Pandas for Life. Looking pretty good so far. Can he get the dismount? Yes, he can. Now for the Jump Hang Kai. He goes right for it, and Panda's not a good angle, and he fails the Jump Hang Kai. That is unfortunate for Pandas for Life, but next up, we've got number 982. It's Chris. I don't know what's going on here.
Oh, God. Look at it jiggle.
Oh, my God.
All right, that's weird. Every time Chris is doing a run, something weird happens for his intro. I don't know. All right, well, now everyone scatters. They all jump into the water. Hunter, Fireball, Snoz, they're gone. Now Chris can just focus on his run instead of focusing on getting shot. Chris, through the first obstacle, nice and quick. Yeah, as you saw right there, he did clear stage 1 in the last tournament. Actually, the last 2 tournaments. Chris has been doing really well on Halo 5 so far. Chris goes really early on the dismount of the rolling escargot, but makes it work. And now he's right into the TIE Fighter. He is not slowed down at all. Goes for an early dismount there as well. And now the jump hang Kai still not stopping. Chris is going to go through the inside. And look at him go. Chris is looking excellent onto the crooked wall right now. And he does that magnificently. Now can he do this? He's up the warped wall in 1. Look at Chris go. He's still got 45 seconds left, and he cuts the corner on the Dragon Glider, going right for it. We saw this not work out for Swantron, but it does work for Chris. And now he is on to the balance bridge. 35 seconds.
Let's go, brother. Yeah.
He's got it. Chris has all the time in the world. He goes for the spring jump like he always does. He didn't get it. And Chris is going back to stage 2 for his 3rd tournament in a row. What a great run from that veteran.
Unlike anyone else, you're absolute psychotic screaming while he's doing his run, Fireball.
It works.
Might have actually helped.
Oh my god.
Oh, Chris is my thing.
Well, we just had 21 consecutive first stage failures, but Chris gets things back on track. With 25.2 seconds left, he is the 5th person moving on to stage 2 this tournament. And next up, we've got another veteran of the course. This guy making his 10th appearance today. It's Caucasians. He used to be Asians, now he's Caucasians. I don't know how that works, but it's all right because this guy is a veteran. He cleared stage 1 in tournament 17, unfortunately failed it in tournament 19. He did make it to stage 3 all the way back in tournament 10 though. That really put him on the map, but he's had some unfortunate stage 1 failures throughout his career. But Asians is now onto the rolling escargot, and he slips off it immediately, but he's still good, he's still alive. This is an obstacle he's defeated every single time it's been in a tournament, so hopefully Asians can get through it again. Today, he's getting fast on it. He is standing up, and he dismounts early. Asians, I'm going to keep calling him Asians, because, you know, that's what I'm used to. But Asians is onto the obstacle. He failed in the last tournament. Asians going for some redemption, and he gets it. Now onto the jump hang Kai. He takes a very direct approach. A nice angle right there on the bounce, and he gets into it, and he's hopping through the inside now for the crooked wall. Can Asians do this? It's been a very tough obstacle so far. Asians goes for it, and yes, he nails it. Asians looking really good. 40 seconds onto the warped wall. He's up it in 1. Asians is looking very solid on stage 1 right now. We have seen him fail at the end of stage 1 before, or towards the end anyway, back in tournaments 11 and 12, but Asians nails the Dragon Glider. He's got it onto the balance bridge. Can Asians do it? He's still got 20 seconds left, not the most time, but he's got plenty of it just to get up this final obstacle. Asians climbing nicely. He gets a bad jump, but Asians, what a save. Oh my goodness. Asians has a 2nd attempt to climb the lumberjack climb, and Asians, is he going to make the most of it? Yes, he is. Asians going back to stage 2. 2.8 seconds left. Not a lot of time, but it's all he needed to advance once again. The 3rd time in his career that he will be moving on to stage 2. It all started off a little rocky with that rolling escargot slip up, but then he got some redemption on the TIE Fighter that he failed last tournament, and from there on out, it was pretty smooth sailing up until the lumberjack climb, where he had an incredible save, just getting bounced back onto that first peg.
Let's go.
Hey,
He's beating stage 2.
if I pass, maybe I'll have a chance not to have the slowest time this time.
Well, I guess we'll find out about that later on, but for right now, it's time to celebrate Asians getting his 3rd stage 1 clear of his career. It wasn't fast, but you know what? Speed doesn't really matter when your goal is just to advance to the next stage, and that's what Asians did. And next up, we've got another competitor who has beaten stage 1 3 times in his career. It's Patty Freakin, number 984. Unfortunately, he failed stage 1 in both of the last 2 tournaments, including that flying chute failure in tournament 19, but Patty is back. He wants to get back to stage 2. He made it there back in tournament 17. Hasn't been there since. Patty has actually been a little less active on Xbox Live over the last couple tournaments, but he still competes. He is still a very talented jumper, and now he is on to the TIE Fighter, and he jumps into it from a very long distance. But Patty hopping through, and he dismounts nicely now for the jump hang kai. He bounces, he's into it. He failed that in Tournament 18. He actually failed walking around to the outside, but Patty gets through it today. Now for the crooked wall. He goes right for it. Patty gets a weird jump. Patty comes up short of the crooked wall and fails stage 1 for the 3rd time in a row. Patty freaking. Look at how close he got right there. I thought he might have made it. His kneecaps hooked onto that little column, but it wasn't enough. He came up short and failed stage 1 again.
Feels bad.
You really want to see Patty get back to stage 2. You know he can do some damage on those later stages. We saw it in Tournament 16, but Tournament 20 was just not meant to be for Patty. Anyway, another competitor who's been struggling with stage 1, Weapon Matt, took on the course again and failed the crooked wall. That's 3 straight stage 1 failures after his 2 first place performances in 16 and 17. And then we had the veteran Bradley Freakin, who has yet to beat stage 1 since his stage 3 appearance in Tournament 15. He went for a crazy technique on the rolling escargot, and surprisingly, it didn't work. So we've seen quite a few veterans struggling with stage 1. We've seen a couple of them clear as well. Let's find out how this next one does. Making his 13th consecutive appearance is the veteran Killer DeMan. Killer has not missed the tournament since his debut in Tournament 8, and he has shown lots of talent throughout his career. So far, he has defeated stage 1 5 times, but even his first stage failures have been interesting. In both Tournament 9 and Tournament 11, he failed the final obstacle of stage 1. Out of his 5 second stage attempts, 2 of them ended up getting to stage 3. One of those came in Tournament 16, where he had his personal best performance, getting to the vertical limit kai. Despite ending his MCC career on a very high note, his Halo 5 career has been much less fortunate. He had his worst ever performance in Tournament 17, failing the rolling escargot, and then failed the jump hang kai in Tournament 18. In the last tournament, he looked a lot better on the stage, but still ended up failing the flying chute. Now that he's had his longest stage 1 failure streak of his career, let's find out if Killer can bounce back. You know, Killer was a big fan of the course back when he competed in Tournament 8. He's still a big fan to this day, obviously. But it's awesome to see that he's had such a long career. You know, 13 appearances, he's here for Tournament 20, and he's number 987. So, he has come a long way. But he has been struggling with stage 1 lately. Let's see how he does today. He's on the rolling escargot now. I can't believe he hasn't beat stage 1 on Halo 5 yet. Let's hope that changes. Killer goes for an early dismount on the rolling escargot, and he gets it. Now onto the TIE Fighter. Killer DeMan gonna jump back and forth. Get that one extra jump, be extra safe. Killer is onto the jump hang kai. He jumps, bounces, and he's into it. He's gonna go around the outside over there on the right. Now he's onto the crooked wall. We've been seeing the veteran struggling with this obstacle. Killer goes for it, and Killer fails the crooked wall too. Another crooked wall failure. This obstacle is starting to really mess with our competitors. Killer didn't even get close to that column. That is very unfortunate for Killer DeMan. He fails stage 1 for his 4th time in a row. And next up, we've got another veteran who's struggling with stage 1 on Halo 5. It's Sane the Legend. He got to stage 3 back in Tournament 16, but a couple times on Halo 5, he got to the last obstacle of stage 1 and just couldn't get the job done. So Sane the Legend, we know he can get to the end of stage 1. It's just whether or not he can finish. Sane is going for the tops of the cones. Nicely done, Sane. And he's onto the rolling escargot. Sane is one of those all-time great jumpers. He's made so many great jump maps throughout his Halo career in general, and Sane has shown his skill for sure on Halo Ninja Warrior, but maybe you expect a little bit more out of someone as talented as he is. Sane goes for an early dismount on the TIE Fighter, and he gets it. Now Sane for the jump hang kai. He bounces, and he's into it. Sane the Legend is hopping through the outside, and now he's onto the crooked wall. Can Sane end this disastrous streak of crooked wall failures? No, he can't! Sane the Legend fails the crooked wall. This obstacle is starting to take over this tournament. Sane the Legend, he did something very similar to Killer DeMan. He just came up short. That's what a lot of people have been doing. They haven't been jumping at the right height to get onto that little round column. Sane the Legend out again. Next up, we've got Pixel Projects, the veteran, making his incredible 14th appearance. This guy, kind of the exact opposite of the last few competitors. He has cleared stage 1 in every single Halo 5 tournament so far. One of only, I want to say 4 people who can say that. So Pixel is now onto the rolling escargot. This guy's tournaments go way back to Tournament 5. He was Halo Legend 6 back then, now he's Pixel Projects. And Pixel is through the rolling escargot. Now onto the TIE Fighter. It's amazing how consistent of a jumper he's been, given the start he had to his career. He kind of took off in Tournament 11 when he got his first stage 1 clear. He's into the jump hang Kai now. But yeah, ever since that Tournament 11 appearance, Pixel has been amazing. Now it's time for the crooked wall. Can he do this? A lot of people have been failing. He shoots, he goes for it, and Pixel Projects finally gets past the crooked wall. I was tired of seeing people fail that. Now for the warped wall. He does not get up it on his first attempt, but he gets up it in 2. Pixel is onto the dragon glider. Can he do this? It's another very tough obstacle. Pixel, he goes for it. He's into the first head slide. Now for the big jump. Pixel Projects gets it now for the dismount. Yes, he's through the dragon glider onto the balance bridge. Can he go 4 for 4 on Halo 5's first stages? Pixel is onto the lumberjack climb. You gotta take this one carefully. He's still got plenty of time. Pixel is climbing up. 15 seconds left. He goes for the spring and doesn't quite get it. He makes the last jump, and Pixel Projects is going back to stage 2. 4 tournaments in a row that this guy has defeated stage 1. 11 seconds left on the clock. All the time that he needed to go back to stage 2. That is awesome. And now we have 7 people moving on to stage 2. That's amazing. Well done, Pixel Projects.
Wow. Tournament 20. That's a lot of tournaments. I can't believe I've been in 14 of them. I mean, it's kind of cool. It's been, what, 6 years, give or take? It's a lot of history now. So it's kind of cool to be a part of it for this long and see the evolution of the course and the jumpers.
Continuing his long Halo Ninja Warrior journey is the veteran Snozberries. Snoz is competing in his 14th straight tournament, which is the 3rd longest active streak on the course behind Sane the Legend and Hunter Unit 751. In his career, he's completed stage 1 6 times, but only been to stage 3 once. That one time came back in Tournament 9, but he made it count as he incredibly reached the final stage. While he couldn't reach the top of the tower, it still showed us what an incredible jumper Snoz is. Even though he's still 1 for 1 on stage 3, stages 1 and 2 have caused him many problems throughout his career. He failed stage 1 in the first 2 Halo 5 tournaments, but stepped up for Tournament 19, where he made it back to stage 2. He ended up failing the Kudari Salmon Ladder for his 2nd time, meaning the wait for Snoz's return to stage 3 was put on hold once again. Today, Snoz will attempt to return to his glory days on the course, starting on stage 1. Let's see what Snoz can do here on his 14th appearance. It was lucky number 13 for him last time on stage 1, but now it's time for his 14th attempt at this stage, and Snoz is right through the cone jump and onto the rolling escargot. Oh, Snoz with a little slip up right there, but the ball did not roll away. He hops right back on, and now he is rolling. Snoz standing up. We got another stander on the rolling escargot. He's looking really good, taking it nice and smooth. Dismounts a little early, and he's onto the TIE Fighter, an obstacle he has not struggled with at all. He's jumping back and forth, and Snoz goes for the dismount. Now for the jump hang Kai. He has never failed this obstacle. He's actually completed it every single time it's been in a tournament. Can he keep that streak alive? Yes, Snoz can. Now he's onto the crooked wall. This is a very tough one. It's been taking out a lot of competitors. Can Snoz get by it? He goes for the jump, but he jumps out. Snoz is out on stage 1 again. His 14th appearance and his 8th stage 1 failure. The crooked wall, you can tell he jumped a little early, pushing him out to the right. He actually had the distance, but not the right direction.
Oh no!
Beautiful.
Oh, fuck me. I didn't want to go out like that.
Oh, I thought that was it.
Yeah, from the side, it really looked like he had it, but let's hear a little bit more from Snaz after that failure.
I'm not gonna lie, that run felt really good. When I got to the crooked wall, I thought I hit it pretty good, and I got a great jump. I had more than enough. I was high enough, I was almost too far, but I just was out to the right a little too much, and I knew it immediately, and I tried to turn and come back, but there's no coming back.
Well, that's sad to see Snaz go out on stage 1 again, and that crooked wall is taking people out. 12 people have already failed at this tournament. Only 29 have gotten there. And now the sun is down. It's nighttime on Halo Ninja Warrior, and we are entering the final 10 competitors of this tournament. Kicking off the final 10 is the longtime veteran, Expose. Number 991, he's making his 15th appearance on the course today. He has been around all the way back since Tournament 4. Unfortunately, the last time we saw him was the last tournament where he went out on the butterfly wall. That was a very disappointing run from Expose. He's been wanting to get back into jumping, though. He wants to make some improvements. He has not been doing very well on the Xbox One at all. He was an amazing competitor on the Xbox 360, made it to stage 3 on his first ever appearance. But now Expose is taking on Tournament 20's first stage, and he's on the rolling escargot. He is also standing up on it. Expose, so far, looking so good. And he gets through it. Now the TIE Fighter. He didn't make it here in the last tournament. He is hopping into it. And he's going to go back and forth. He's coming up really close, but he eventually makes it to the dismount. Now for the jump hang kai, an obstacle he has failed in the past. And Expose with a nice jump. He gets into it. And he is hopping through the outside. Now for the dismount. Expose, he nails it. Now the crooked wall. Snaz just failed this. Can Expose get it? He goes for a very high jump, and Expose comes up short of the pole. That is another crooked wall failure.
I was started out in Tournament 2, and I feel like the tournaments have progressed really well. Even watching the episodes on YouTube is really changed. It's really exploded. You know, there's a lot more, like, the community's grown. I've been jumping, honestly, since Halo Reach, and since then, it's just expanded, and your course individually has just grown so much, and it's incredible.
Well, Sleepy right there with some very kind words. Yeah, Sleepy Slayer 5. He's number 992 this tournament. We last saw him in Tournament 15, where he made it to Stage 2 and went out on the balance tank. That was his 10th appearance. Now he is appearing for his 11th time. Let's see how he does on Stage 1. Sleepy hopping through the first obstacle. His first time competing on Halo 5. This is a big time for Sleepy. He's on the rolling escargot right now, and he is going to stick with the crouching method on this obstacle. Sleepy has been an amazing competitor throughout his career. Many Stage 3s in his past. A lot of Stage 2s as well. So let's see if he can get back there again today. Sleepy onto the TIE Fighter. He's going to jump back and forth, looking very comfortable on it. And now he is onto the jump hang kai. He's done this in the past. He bounces, and Sleepy is into it. He's going to go around the outside on the left. And a dismount onto the crooked wall. Can he get by this? It has been taking competitors out left and right. Sleepy gets a good jump, and he makes it to the dismount. Now he's onto the warped wall. 40 seconds left. Sleepy is up the warped wall in 1. He's looking really good right now, but can he do the dragon glider? He needs a big jump right here. He needs lots of speed, lots of momentum. Sleepy gets into it. He's looking good. Oh, but he flies over the pole. Sleepy Slayer comes up. I can't even say comes up short. He flew over the pole. He actually drifted off to the side, it looked like. Let's see. He goes into this head slide, and you have to adjust to the left on this obstacle. He tried to do that too soon and actually came out of the head slide. If we take a look from a third-person perspective on him, you can see he starts drifting to the left, pops out right there, and that lifted him up, sending him straight over the pole.
Oh, what the?
I think you jumped that early.
Good run.
I think you jumped early, maybe.
Good comeback.
Yeah, it looked like you might have jumped a tad early on that jump.
Did he get launched out the side, or did he just?
I didn't jump, dude. I didn't even.
Well, when I jump early, that happens to me. I fly over the pole.
Well, you can see everyone who is watching is trying to figure it out. I know it's kind of hard to tell, but yeah, he did actually just drift off to the left. Came out of that head slide, and it sent him right over the pole. 7 failures on that obstacle now. 16 attempts. It's almost halfway. Luckily, Fireball knew exactly why Sleepy failed on that run. That might come in handy right now because he is up next. DHG Fireball. Can he do this? All right, he is on the cone jump. Fireball has been competing at a very high level lately. He's gotten to the final obstacle of stage 3 in both of the last 2 tournaments. That is extremely impressive. Oh, Chris is watching. Look at Chris up there. All right, Fireball. He is onto the TIE Fighter. He has yet to fail a stage 1 on Halo 5. The last time we saw him fail stage 1, all the way back in Tournament 13. So if I was a betting man, I'd say Fireball's got a decent chance to get through stage 1. But this obstacle could decide everything. Fireball goes for the crooked wall, and Fireball absolutely nails it. That was a perfect run on that obstacle. And now for the warped wall. Fireball is flying. He is flying. Look at him go. He's not going to back up for the dragon ladder. He goes right into it, just like Chris did. And Fireball is into the second head slide and makes it to the dismount. Now he's skipping to the second pallet. Look at that clock. He has all sorts of time left. Takes a random save jump on that first ledge of the lumberjack climb. But Fireball hits the spring jump and hits the buzzer with 26.4 seconds left. The fastest time of the tournament so far.
You get up that wall so fucking fast, dude.
What a great run from Fireball.
That's gotta be the fastest time so far with that final climb, dude. No question.
Well, that's what I'm talking about. Fireball just keeps showing up and keeps on dominating these tournaments. Fastest time so far, 26.4 seconds left. We will be seeing Fireball once again take on stage 2. So that was the first of our Xbox One All-Stars, and we've got another one up next. Returning from a huge bounce-back tournament is the Xbox One All-Star, Alpha Puma. Puma has been competing in every tournament since Tournament 10, and it didn't take long for him to become one of the course's most dominant competitors. By only his 3rd appearance, he made it to Stage 3, and even got one jump away from the final stage in Tournaments 14 and 15. Once he became an Xbox One All-Star, his streak of 4 straight Stage 3 appearances came to an end as he failed the metal spin on Stage 2 of Tournament 16. Tournament 17 saw him get back to Stage 3, but Tournament 18 is where things got rough. For the first time in his career, he was the final runner to go on Stage 1, and for the first time since his newcomer appearance, he failed the first stage. It was a truly heartbreaking moment for Puma, but Tournament 19 became his redemption. He was able to clear Stage 1 again, and then make it all the way back to Stage 3, where he got to the crazy cliffhanger. Puma's resiliency has been tested time and time again on this course, but more often than not, he prevails. One goal that still eludes him, however, is the final stage. Today, Puma will take his 11th attempt at Halo Ninja Warrior and try to prove why he is one of the top competitors of all time. Puma is a very thoughtful competitor, and when I say that, I mean he puts a lot of thought into how he approaches for the tournament. So let's see how he approaches Tournament 20 today. He is off and onto the cone jump. All right, Puma onto the crooked wall. Can he get over this? It's a very tough obstacle. Puma lands on the pole and makes the dismount. Now he's onto the warped wall. Can he get up it in one? No, he cannot. But he still has plenty of time left. His second attempt, he is up at Alpha Puma, going on to the Dragon Glider. All right, here we go. Alpha Puma, can he get this? We've seen a few competitors struggle with this obstacle, but Puma's an all-star, and he gets a good jump. He's into the second head slide, and Puma is through the Dragon Glider. He's got 2 obstacles left to punch his ticket back to Stage 2, and with 20 seconds left, he is on to the Lumberjack climb. Alpha Puma, can he do it? The clock is ticking down, but he is climbing up, and Alpha Puma reaches the top, and with 9.8 seconds left, he is going back on to Stage 2, number 994 this tournament. Alpha Puma continuing his incredible career, becoming the 9th competitor to advance to the second stage. But now from one all-star to another, unfortunately we lost the footage for Double Ump's run on Stage 1. He is a legendary competitor, but he did go out on the Dragon Glider. That was very sad to see.
I feel honored to be included in the 20th tournament and actually compete again. It's like, it feels like such a long time ago when I first competed, and yeah, it's great that it's still going on.
Next up on stage 1 is the jumping legend and grand champion of Halo Ninja Warrior, Buddy Jumps. One of the rare German competitors on this course, Buddy's runs go way back to Tournament 6, where he made it to stage 3 on his first ever appearance. Then, in only his second tournament, Buddy made history by becoming the first ever competitor to complete all 4 stages of Halo Ninja Warrior. After his tremendous success, Buddy had a wide variety of failures all the way from the first stage to the final stage. Recently, Buddy hasn't been competing as frequently as he's only been in 2 of the last 6 tournaments. We last saw him in Tournament 17, where he had his worst run ever, failing the first obstacle of Stage 1. Now we will watch as the Grand Champion steps up to the start line again, but who knows what he has in store for us. Buddy Jumps, here we go! The first ever Grand Champion of Halo Ninja Warrior. It's always so much fun to watch him run. And Buddy, can he do better than he did in Tournament 17? Yes, he can. And now he is on to the rolling escargot. Buddy Jumps. This guy has been around the jumping community for such a long time. He's made so many great jump maps, and he has just shown all the skill you can imagine. He's also made some silly mistakes throughout his runs on the course, but he's just such a good jumper that you almost can't even hold it against him, and now he's on to the jump hang kai. We did see him get to stage 2 back in Tournament 16. Right now, Buddy is hopping through the inside of the jump hang kai, and now he is onto the crooked wall. Can a jumping legend like Buddy do this obstacle? Yes, he can! Look at that jump! He cleared that dismount almost by a mile, and Buddy with a spring jump technique on the warped wall. He pulls that off. Now for the dragon glider. Buddy still with tons of time left. Look at him go! Buddy through the dragon glider, and he gets into the second head slide, and he is through that obstacle. Now onto the balance bridge. He also skips to the second pallet. We've been seeing a lot of people do that. And Buddy Jumps with all sorts of time. Oh, he almost came up short of that ledge, but he pulled it off. And Buddy hits the spring jump. Yo! And he sounds very excited. A little cheer from Buddy as he hits the landmine. That is great. The first ever Grand Champion of the course is going back to Stage 2. We haven't been able to say that since Tournament 16. And then Tournament 16 was the first time he made it to Stage 2 since Tournament 12. Yo! Listen to Buddy right there, too. He sounded so excited. That is awesome. And he is now the 10th competitor to move on to Stage 2 in Tournament 20. We have hit double digits now, and we have 4 competitors left. Next up, we've got another Xbox 360 All-Star. Next up is the second most experienced competitor in the course's history, GameTypes. GameTypes has only missed 2 tournaments in the entire history of the course, and early in his career, he was one of the best competitors. He cleared Stage 1 on all of his first 7 appearances and made it to the 3rd stage 5 of those times. This incredible start to his career earned him the rank of All-Star on the Xbox 360, but after Tournament 8, everything took an unexpected turn. On all of his last 10 appearances, GameTypes has been unable to defeat Stage 1. While he usually manages to get deep into the stage, it's never enough to earn a spot back on Stage 2. His 10 consecutive first stage failures is the most by a competitor who has defeated Stage 1 in the past. Regardless of the failures though, GameTypes is still an incredibly talented jumper, and on any given day, a return to the 2nd stage would not be out of the question. GameTypes, if anyone wants to doubt how good of a jumper this guy still is, if you look at his runs on Ump and Sauron's tournament, whether that was Aborigines Warrior or Halo Warrior, I know they've gone through some changes lately, but GameTypes has been one of, if not the top competitor on that course. So let's see how he does right here on the rolling escargot. He's standing up and looking really smooth so far. And GameTypes hops off, and now he is going on to the TIE Fighter. Jumps into it, hopping back and forth. GameTypes is looking really good, and now he's on to the jump hang kai. He has failed this obstacle a couple of times throughout his career, but he lands inside of it this time. Can he get through the inside? GameTypes is through it and onto the crooked wall now. A big jump right here. GameTypes gets the crooked wall. Look at him go. Now he's onto the warped wall, and GameTypes does not get up it on his first attempt. But second attempt, just as good for game types. He gets up, it's still 40 seconds left. He's got lots of time, and now he's gonna set up for the Dragon Glider. He jumps a little early, and game types doesn't even get a bounce off the trampoline. He jumped earlier than I thought he did, honestly. He just got a horrible bounce. He got a little bounce, it just sent him forward, but not up. And you definitely need to go up on that obstacle.
Son, I believe it.
It's where I failed too. I don't really see people get bounces like that. That was weird.
Well, Gotank's getting a little laugh out of that failure. Let's hope he doesn't get any bad karma for that. But anyway, we've had 97 attempts at this stage. 10 of them have cleared. And now, sadly, our next competitor was supposed to be Drago is Sick, the Xbox 360 All-Star. But we just found out that he will be unable to compete in this tournament, so because of that, we have a backup competitor who will be taking over his number.
It's definitely a pleasure to take Drago's position as 998. I'd like to thank him personally. It's really great to do a run in honor of such a great competitor.
Unfortunately, the Xbox 360 All-Star and jumping legend Drago is Sick was unable to compete at the last minute, so in his place, we will see the return of our veteran Z-Master. Z is making his 6th appearance today. His first appearance was way back in Tournament 7, and then he appeared in all 4 of the MCC tournaments, 2 of which he got to Stage 2, and one of those times he even made it to Stage 3. But the last time we saw Z was in Tournament 16, where he failed the Jump Hang Kai on Stage 1. After that, Z took a break from Halo, spending 4 years at uni to work towards his degree, but now he has returned, and he's ready to get his jumping career back on track. So even though Drago couldn't make it for Tournament 20, let's see if Z can make up for it right here on Stage 1. Well, hopefully everyone is thinking about Drago during this run. We also want to see Z do well because he's been gone for a while, so it's great to have him back. But yeah, Drago is Sick, an all-time great on Halo Ninja Warrior, so it is very sad that he was unable to compete. But Z is going to try to make it worth his while. Z on the rolling escargot right now. He is standing up and looking extremely smooth. Goes for a nice dismount, and now he is onto the TIE Fighter. He hasn't been around on Halo 5 at all until this tournament. So let's see how he does on some of these newer obstacles. Z gets through the TIE Fighter, and now the obstacle he failed in the last tournament, the Jump Hang Kai. Z gets into it this time. Looking really good, and now he's going for the crooked wall. Z comes up short. What just happened? How did he come up short? Z got a weird jump. What happened? Oh my goodness, did he hit his head? Z-Master with a very unfortunate failure. Look at that, he barely clips his head. And that might have actually sent him downward, losing his speed. And he fails the dismount of the Jump Hang Kai. That is not a way I expected anyone to fail this obstacle, and that is extremely unlucky for Z-Master. But I want to give him a huge shout out for filling in for Drago is Sick. And now we have 2 competitors left.
I feel pretty good going into Tournament 20. I've had a solid amount of practice, and I just got to go out there and give it my best.
At number 99 is the Xbox One All-Star, Gotanks. Gotanks has undoubtedly been one of the most amazing competitors the course has ever seen. He first appeared in Tournament 8 and hasn't ever missed a tournament since. While Gotanks has never achieved total victory, he still has some of the most unbelievable records on the course. He is the only competitor to ever reach the final stage in back-to-back tournaments, and he's the only competitor who has been to the final stage a total of 3 times. In total, Gotanks has defeated Stage 1 on 9 of his 12 attempts, and cleared Stage 2 8 out of 9 times. His first time failing Stage 2 came in the last tournament at the hands of the Metal Spin. Amazingly, the worst performance Gotanks has ever had came on his newcomer performance when he got to the flying chute of Stage 1. If he clears Stage 1 today, he will become only the 2nd competitor ever to clear Stage 1 a total of 10 times. Now let's see if this All-Star can add another incredible feat to his resume. It was actually super close between Gotanks and Drago as to who would receive the number 999 in this tournament. Gotanks had a couple more points than Drago, which came from his Stage 2 appearance in the last tournament, and Gotanks is now fighting for his 10th stage 1 clear. The only time we've ever seen that before was Hunter in Tournament 10. Gotenks could be the next guy to do it here in Tournament 20. Gotenks is on to the TIE Fighter now. He has yet to fail a stage 1 on Halo 5. He does not want this to be the first one. Now Gotenks going on to the Jumping Kai, a nice bounce, and he's into it. He's going to go around the outside. Gotenks has definitely been a time taker on stage 1. He doesn't want to go fast. He just wants to hit the buzzer. Now the crooked wall. Can he get this? Gotenks. Oh, he almost came up short, but he made it with a great crouch jump right there. And Gotenks is onto the warped wall. He does not get up it in 1. Can he get up it on his second attempt? Yes, he can. Gotenks is onto the Dragon Glider. He is taking his time right now. He doesn't want to go too fast. He just wants to get through these obstacles. And now he is bouncing into the first head slide. And Gotenks goes for the jump, and whoa!
Oh my, oh, you're good.
That was close for Gotenks. I don't know how he pulled that one off, but now he is on to the lumberjack climb. He's still got 15 seconds left. If he doesn't make a mistake right here, he should have the time he needs. 10 seconds. The klaxon is sounding, but Gotenks gets to the top, and he is going back to stage 2. 10 times now for this Xbox One All-Star. What an incredible record he has just achieved. Look at this crooked wall attempt. He almost came up short right there, but he got a perfect crouch jump onto that pole. But this Dragon Glider, it looked like he messed up the jump into the second head slide, but he got saved by the gravity, and Gotenks is going back to stage 2.
Yeah, baby.
Oh my god, I'm shaking so much.
That was this close.
Oh man, now I gotta go get
I've ever seen in my life.
Did
That was
anyone else
insane.
see him start?
You caught it like here.
He was
Like,
falling.
you didn't even.
He started
That's
to
insane.
fall and got sucked back.
I thought
up.
I jumped too late on my initial jump.
Well, you can hear them all talking about that close call on the Dragon Glider, but Gotenks made the most of his opportunity, and now he will have his 10th attempt at stage 2. And that means we have had 99 competitors attempt stage 1. There is only one competitor left throughout the entire history of this course. 999 different times we have seen someone step up to stage 1, and now it is time for the 100th competitor of Tournament 20 and the 1000th competitor of all time. I would be amazed if you don't know who this is.
Pressure's pressure's pretty big because it's the 20th anniversary tournament and I'm shooting for 20 in a row, which is just crazy to think when I say that, 20 in a row. It's just like, wow. But, you know, I always feel pressure and I've managed to come through it and just got to do it again now.
The 1000th attempt ever on Halo Ninja Warrior goes to the Xbox 360 and Xbox One All-Star, Hunter Unit 751. Hunter is the host of Ninja Warrior of Halo on his YouTube channel, Extreme UK Gaming.
130 seconds, Tank Guy woke up, and he's off the sexy steps. And he's out! No!
While proving to be a great tournament host, Hunter is also a great jumper on Halo. He is the only competitor to compete in all 20 tournaments of this course, and even more amazingly, he is the only one to complete Stage 1 in all of the past 19 tournaments. This record is unmatched as the runner-up now only has 10 Stage 1 clears. Also, Hunter's 15 Stage 3 appearances is by far the most by a single competitor, and he even has the longest streak of consecutive tournaments on Stage 3 at 9. He made it there in tournaments 10 through 18, but unfortunately lost his streak in the last tournament when he failed Stage 2. That spider walk failure was actually the worst performance Hunter has ever had, but his best performances came in Tournament 6 and 16 when he made it to the final stage. Hunter has still never achieved total victory, but he is still widely considered the greatest competitor in the history of Halo Ninja Warrior. He is the only Xbox 360 All-Star who became an All-Star on the Xbox One, and there was no doubt that he deserved to be number 1000 on this course. Now it's time to find out if Hunter can continue his remarkable career and go 20 for 20 on Stage 1.
Let's go, Hunter. Let's do this, baby.
If you had told me back in 2012 that Halo Ninja Warrior would reach Tournament 20, I wouldn't have believed you. And if you told me there was a competitor who could potentially be clearing Stage 1 for his 20th time in 20 tournaments, I would have blocked you and never talked to you again. because that would have just been too ridiculous. But luckily, no one ever said either of those things because I guess back then no one was crazy enough to believe that. But here we are, Tournament 20, number 1000, Hunter Unit 751 is running through the course. This is monumental. This is so big right now. Hunter Unit 751 is through the TIE Fighter, and now he is on to the Jumping Kai. He has done this obstacle every single time it's been in a tournament, and he gets inside of it again. Now Hunter Unit 751 is onto the Crooked Wall. It has been a tough obstacle this tournament, and Hunter is going to get a late sprint. He goes for it. Hunter comes up short. He fails the Crooked Wall, and he is out on stage 1 for the first time in his career. I don't believe it. He came up short of the Crooked Wall, the one obstacle that has absolutely taken over this tournament, and it ended the run of the 1000th ever competitor. Hunter Unit 751. The streak is officially over. I do not believe that just happened.
Nope, it's over.
No.
Oh.
That Crooked Wall, man.
Nobody can believe what they just saw. In its first ever tournament, the Crooked Wall has done what no other Stage 1 obstacle could do, and it took out the great Hunter Unit 751.
Well, I was feeling nervous, honestly. That one obstacle, I felt good with every other obstacle, but that Crooked Wall was the one obstacle that I think that I was worried about. I knew I could do it. It just didn't come off in the actual attempt, and honestly, you know, it's the 20th tournament. It's such a huge milestone, and I feel like I let the competitors down with this failure. I feel like after everything I've managed to achieve in Halo Ninja Warrior, you know, I've had my two worst performances in the last 2 tournaments. Tournament 19 was a low, but honestly, this one I don't feel disappointed. I feel proud. I feel proud for how long I was able to keep the streak going for, and all I can say is sorry to everyone that was rooting for me to do it in this tournament.
Well, more than anything, I think Hunter deserves the biggest congratulations we can give him on 19 Stage 1 clears in a row. The 11 competitors that survived are Strafe Helix, Petrilofam, Atlantic Champ, Rog, Siren, Caucasians, Pixel, Fireball, Puma, Buddy, and Gotenks. Now all of them will face off with Tournament 20's second stage. There have been some modifications since the previous tournament, including the first obstacle where a pole has been added to the middle of the cross ladder, requiring competitors to take it slower and make sure they stay on track. After that is the Kudari Salmon Ladder, same as last tournament, as well as the Spider Walk. The fourth obstacle, however, is brand new. This is the Solar Swing, where competitors must use a series of bounce pads to navigate the 2 giant columns. After that is the Feared Metal Spin, followed by the Conveyor Belt, and the new final obstacle, the Tunnel Snakes. Everyone will have 85 seconds to complete this stage and advance to Stage 3. With Hunter not here on Stage 2, hopefully the 11 incredible jumpers who are left can step up in a big way. Let's get to the runs and kick off the second stage. Kicking us off on Stage 2 is the veteran Strafe Helix. He's making his 7th appearance today and his 3rd on Stage 2. In the last tournament, he got to the balance tank and came up short of the dismount by a couple inches. Now, there were a whopping 39 failures on Stage 1 in a row to start off this tournament before this guy, Strafe Helix, finally got things back on track, and he is the first competitor through this modified version of the cross ladder. And now he is on to the Kudari Salmon Ladder. Has a little slip up right there. And a short hop. Wow, Strafe corrected that very nicely. Time is going to be a big deal on this stage. It is one of the more fast-paced Stage 2s we've seen in a while, but Strafe is through the Kudari Salmon Ladder and now onto the Spider Walk. It has been slightly modified since the last tournament. This dismount is the biggest difference right there, but Strafe pulled it off very nicely. Now for the new Solar Swing. He is the first competitor to attempt this, and he's already skipping trampolines. Look at Strafe go, and he doesn't make it to the second set of trampolines.
What do you mean I hit the...
Oh, but clearly...
I shouldn't have hit that pole.
He's not happy with that.
That pole is BS. I shouldn't have hit that pole. I should have hit.
All right, Strafe didn't think he should have hit that pole.
I shouldn't have hit that pole.
So he bounces right here, and then, yep, he barely hit himself on the left side with that little pole in the middle. It threw him off and caused him to fall into the water. So the solar swing claims its first victim. And now we've got our only newcomer on stage 2. This is Petrillo Fam 4, number 946. Yeah, he's the first newcomer since Hook Skywalker back in Tournament 18 to advance to the second stage. So let's see how he does. Oh no, Petrillo Fam! Oh, you can't go out like that. Well, he is a newcomer, so it was amazing he got to stage 2, but that is disappointing.
Oh no.
No!
When was the last time that's happened?
Yeah, we haven't seen that since Tournament 8, Luminite Shadow. So there's your first stage 2, first obstacle failure in 12 tournaments. That was something to watch. Anyway, now we've got Atlantic Champ. He beat this stage in the last tournament. So let's see if he can do it again. Last tournament was an amazing performance by Atlantic Champ. Getting through stage 2 on his first ever time trying it. Him and Rog, and Flame actually, all pulled that off, which was incredible to watch last tournament. Obviously, Rog and Atlantic are back on stage 2. Atlantic with a huge slip on the salmon ladder, but he saves it somehow. I don't know how he managed to save that one, but he is climbing back up. All right, that cost him a lot of time. He's going to have to hustle to make up for some of that lost time. Now it's time to go down on the second ladder. All right, he's going down pretty well, and he's going for the dismount. Atlantic gets a bad jump, and he's out on the salmon ladder. Atlantic Champ will not be going back to stage 3. He got a bad jump right there for the dismount, hit his head, and it sent him straight down into the water. That is a heartbreaking way for Atlantic's tournament to end. Well, if he couldn't make it back to stage 3, let's see if this guy can. It's Rog. RPG445, he is the host of Spartan Sasuke on his YouTube channel, role-playing Garchomps. Last tournament, he failed stage 3 at the vertical limit Kai. Now he wants to get back there. He's going to have to get through stage 2. Atlantic could not do it, so can Rog do it? First up is the cross ladder. He's taking his time lining it up, and he gets through it perfectly. And now he is on to the salmon ladder. Atlantic failed it, and we even saw Strafe slip up on it a little bit, but Rog gets up the first ladder as smoothly as possible, and now he is going back down the second ladder. All right, Rog with a nice landing. He goes for the dismount immediately. Rog comes up short, and we have another salmon ladder dismount failure. Rog could not pull off that last jump. He tried to rush it. He didn't hit his head like Atlantic did. He just tried to jump too fast, and because he was falling down, he didn't get any forward momentum. Or he got a little bit, but it was not nearly enough. So Rog goes out on stage 2.
No!
The
Rog train has derailed.
That is a huge disappointment for Rog. Let's hear more from him.
I think I was more so worried about the strict time limits. I was making mistakes I probably shouldn't have, and ultimately I paid the price on salmon ladder, so hopefully I won't make these mistakes again next tournament.
Well, Rog and Atlantic both failed the dismount of the salmon ladder. That is shocking to see.
Oh man, being on stage 2 for my 4th time, it's just so nerve-wracking. The metal spin right behind me is just, it's so scary for me. And salmon ladder too, those two are just like, they're really intense for me.
Well, Chris has failed stage 2 3 times in his career. There are a couple of competitors who have actually failed stage 2 4 times before they ever cleared it. That includes Bradley Freakin and Dom DeBomb. So hopefully Chris will not fall into that category. He wants to get to stage 3 right here and not go 0 for 4 on stage 2. First up is the cross slider. And Chris gets around that pole pretty quickly. And he's through the obstacle. Now onto the salmon ladder. He needs to be very careful on this obstacle. As we can see, it's already done some fair damage. Actually, more than fair. It took out 2 of the guys who made it to stage 3 in the last tournament. But Chris gets through it like it's nothing. And he hops right into the spider walk. He's hopping through, drops down, gets a good save jump, and gets a good jump to the dismount. Now we are back to the solar swing. We haven't seen this obstacle since Stray Felix tried it. And Chris is hopping on through. Takes a couple bounces on that one trampoline, but he is looking really good on this obstacle right now. Not getting knocked around. Chris going for that last one, and Chris is back to the metal spin. He failed this in both of the last 2 tournaments. He goes for it, and Chris gets a good save jump and a good dismount. He is on to the conveyor belt.
Let's go, Chris. You got it. You've got it.
So much time.
Come on, Chris, get through that conveyor belt. There you go, he's through it, and he still has all sorts of time, and he's the first competitor to try the new tunnel snakes. And look at him go! He destroyed that second one, and with all the time in the world, Chris hits the buzzer. 13.8 seconds left. He is going on to stage 3 for the first time in his career. It only took him 4 stage 2 attempts to finally get it clear, but he dominated every single obstacle on the stage. The salmon ladder just did tons of damage. Chris got through it like it's nothing. He was the first competitor to get through the new solar swing. And then, of course, that metal spin, the obstacle he failed in both of the last 2 tournaments. Look at this save jump. That is money. Chris hopped right through that, and he had so much time, he could have just walked through the last 2 obstacles, and still he would have cleared.
Let's go, brothers.
Let's go.
Can we suck Lamar off later to this?
Well, I have no idea what they just said, but it sounds like everyone is very excited. Chris is going to be moving on to stage 3 for his first time, number 982. He will be the first person to take on stage 3 of Tournament 20. Next up, we've got the very next number. It's number 983, Caucasians. The last time he was on stage 2 was in Tournament 17 when he failed the double salmon ladder. So could this be bad news for Asians? This salmon ladder has already done some damage, and we've seen him fail it in the past. This is his 3rd time on stage 2. The first time came way back in Tournament 10, and then in Tournament 17, and now here in Tournament 20. Asians taking the salmon ladder slowly, and then all of a sudden he speeds up for the last few rungs. Now he's got to transfer over and go back down. I know it's Caucasians. I'm still calling him Asians because that's what his gamertag used to be. And then yeah, I don't know why he changed it to Caucasians. That seems a little weird to me. But Asians lags a little bit on the dismount of the salmon ladder, and he gets through it. Now he's on to the spider walk, an extra save jump on the second set of windows. Taking a few extra save jumps. He uses the 4th set, which doesn't always get used. But Asians hops right through. Now he's got 36 seconds left. He needs to pick up the pace if he wants to have enough time to get through this stage. Asians with a horrible first bounce on the solar swing, and that obstacle has its second victim of the tournament. Now moving on, we've got a competitor who knows what it's like to fail stage 2 better than anyone. Making his 8th appearance on stage 2 is the veteran Pixel Projects. Pixel has been competing since Tournament 5, but never got to stage 2 until Tournament 11. Since then, he's only failed stage 1 twice, and now he's one of only 3 competitors to complete stage 1 in every Halo 5 tournament. In the last tournament, Pixel set the record for the most ever stage 2 failures at 6, as he went out on the spider walk. He's also failed the metal spin 3 times in his career, and only defeated stage 2 once back in Tournament 15. Today, Pixel will either increase the record for stage 2 failures again, or make it back to stage 3 for his 2nd time. 8 times on stage 2, man, good old Halo Legends 6 back in Tournament 5. I don't know if he ever thought that he would make it to 8 stage 2s, but here he is, Tournament 20, stage 2, Pixel is going through the cross ladder. His leg is twitching. Alright, he got through it. Now he's onto the salmon ladder. So yeah, Pixel did go out. Oh, look at these spring jumps he's going with on the salmon ladder. Interesting choice for Pixel, but he pulls it off. Nicely done. Now he's got to go back down. So yeah, the spider walk, that's the obstacle to watch out for. That's where he failed last tournament. Obviously, he's got to get there, but Pixel does get there. Now he's on to the obstacle he failed in Tournament 19. Pixel is hopping through it. He goes up to the 3rd window where he couldn't make it last time, and Pixel drops back down, and look at that. He has made it through the spider walk. All right, Pixel Projects. He's failed stage 2 6 times in his career. Let's not make it 7. He's got to get through this solar swing. He's getting some pretty good bounces right now, and look at that, skipping them on the way down. And now he's on to the metal spin. He has failed this 3 times in his career. He goes for it again. Pixel fails the metal spin for a 4th time. How do you manage that? Pixel Projects, I don't believe it. This time, he just aimed in the complete wrong direction, didn't give himself an opportunity to get a save jump. Look at this, he hit the pole. You're not supposed to hit the pole, Pixel, you're supposed to go around the pole. You would think he would have known that after his 3 metal spin failures, but that obstacle has been dominating him his entire career. Well, next up, we've got a guy who's been dominating stage 2 his entire career. Taking on his 7th stage 2 in a row is the all-star DHG Fireball. Fireball has been competing ever since Tournament 12, when he made it to stage 3 on his newcomer appearance. In the next tournament, he failed stage 1, but after that, his career has been spectacular. He's defeated stage 2 6 out of the 7 times he's attempted it previously, with the only failure coming at the hands of the Salmon Ladder in Tournament 14. Other than that, DHG Fireball has been dominating this stage and the Halo 5 tournaments in general, especially the last tournament when he came in first place. Fireball definitely wants some revenge on the 3rd stage, but before he can think about that, he must get through stage 2 once again. Fireball's a little speed demon himself, so with his skill set, it should help him out a lot here on stage 2. 85 seconds, can Fireball clear this stage? Chris is the only person who's done it so far, and we've got Fireball and then only 3 other competitors left, so hopefully we get some more stage 2 clears somewhere in here. Fireball going up the Salmon Ladder right now. He's failed the Salmon Ladder in the past, but he gets across the first one, now dropping back down, taking a save jump on every ledge, and at the bottom ledge, Fireball takes an extra save jump, but he's good to go, and he's onto the Spider Walk. Fireball hopping through, hops up to the 3rd set, dropping all the way back down. Fireball with a nice clear on the Spider Walk. He lands right on the dismount, the edge of the dismount platform, and now he's hopping through the Solar Swing. Anyone not named Asians and Strafe has been doing a little bit better on this obstacle. Look at Fireball go. That was beautiful. And now he's got 35 seconds left onto the metal spin. Pixel just failed this, but Fireball gets a good save jump, gets a good dismount, and he is onto the conveyor belt. He still has plenty of time left as long as he doesn't get pushed back by any of these blocks. He seems to be walking around them very nicely. You got to get it just right so that they don't push you back, but he does, and Fireball still has time left. He's hopping through the tunnel snakes. If he doesn't make a mistake here, he should be good to go. DHG Fireball, 6 stage 2 clears in a row. What a great run. 7.7 seconds left. It is not the fastest time clearing here on stage 2, but it will see him back on stage 3, and he will be joining Chris, his friend. I know he is very excited about that, so that is awesome, and I think we're all excited to finally have our 2nd competitor on stage 3. And now there's only 3 competitors left. We've got another Xbox One All-Star right here. It is Alpha Puma. He got to stage 3 in the last tournament and failed the crazy cliffhanger. Before that, Tournament 18, he failed stage 1, so Tournament 19 was a big bounce-back tournament for Puma, and now he's trying to get to stage 3 for his 3rd time. On Halo 5, he teleported up the Salmon Ladder. That might be cheating. No, we'll let you get away with it, Puma. You can teleport on this run. No, I'm just kidding. It was lag, but he's going back down the Salmon Ladder, and he gets a save jump on that bottom rung, and a nice dismount. Puma now onto the Spider Walk. Hopping through, he goes up, and Puma comes up short on the Spider Walk. The Xbox One All-Star is out on stage 2 for the 3rd time in his career. I was not expecting him to fail that jump. He just got a very low jump going up to that set of windows, and he came up short. And just like that, we are down to only 2 competitors left on stage 2. Next up on stage 2 is the first ever Halo Ninja Warrior Grand Champion, Buddy Jumps. Buddy is making his 11th appearance today, and this is his first time on stage 2 since Tournament 16. In his career, Buddy has attempted stage 2 6 times, and only failed it once in Tournament 16. On that run, he got out of control on the Salmon Ladder and lost so much time that he couldn't hit the buzzer before the clock hit 0. Other than that, Buddy has always done well on this stage and on this course in general, as he's been to the final stage twice, and he's still one of the only 2 people to ever hold the title of Grand Champion. Today, Buddy will take on stage 2 for his 7th time and try to punch his ticket back to stage 3 for the first time in 8 tournaments. Well, yeah, the last time we saw Buddy clear stage 2, he got to the final stage, so let's see some more of that magic, Buddy. Come on. Let us see the grand champion of Halo Ninja Warrior, 85 seconds right here on stage 2. His first time on Halo 5 attempting this stage. He gets around the pole in the cross ladder and dismounts nicely now onto the salmon ladder. So back in Tournament 16, he actually struggled on this obstacle, and he struggles early on as he had to jump back to the starting platform. We don't see that a lot, but now Buddy is climbing back up. He makes another mistake. Buddy is struggling on the salmon ladder. He can't get up it. Buddy losing a lot of time. This is how he timed out in Tournament 16. All right, now he's got to go back down. He needs to go fast. He lost a lot of time already, and he's taking his time going back down. Buddy is not doing very well. Buddy fails the salmon ladder. He fails going down, and that is the end of his tournament. Another tournament out on stage 2. That is shocking to see. Now we've had 10 attempts at this stage. Only 2 of them have been successful. There's one guy left.
Going out last tournament on stage 2 really does motivate me to go out there and put up a better effort this tournament. The metal spin is definitely an obstacle that I'm worried about, but you know, I'm hoping I could overcome it this time.
The final runner to go on stage 2 is the All-Star, Gotenks. This is his 10th time on stage 2, making him only the second competitor since Hunter Unit 751 who has reached double-digit attempts on this stage. In his career, Gotenks has been superb on stage 2, going an incredible 8 for 8 to start off his career. Unfortunately, in the last tournament, Gotenks suffered his first ever second stage failure at the hands of the metal spin. This is only the second time in his career that he's been the final competitor to attempt stage 2, and the last time was back in tournament 11. In that tournament, he made it to the final stage for his second time in a row, an accomplishment that no other competitor has matched. He also remains the only competitor to reach the final stage 3 times in total, but Gotenks will not rest until he reaches the top of the final stage. In order to get back there, Gotenks must complete stage 2 for the 9th time in his career. Gotenks, his 10th attempt on stage 2. I can't believe I can say that. This guy has just been such a great competitor over such a long period of time, and he is the last guy standing here on stage 2. Can he join Fireball and Chris? He's got some very, very tough obstacles to get through, but he gets up the salmon ladder so smooth. Gotenks has always been super good on the salmon ladder, and now he is going back down. To get that save jump, Gotenks nails it, and he gets the dismount. Now he's on to the spider walk. Gotenks getting an extra save jump right there. He's going to hop up to the 3rd set, and he is going to use the 4th set of windows, but he drops down immediately, and Gotenks is through the spider walk. Now on to the solar swing. Gotenks bouncing around. Oh, he gets a little off direction there, but he recovers very nicely. And Gotenks, still with 32 seconds left, he gets through the solar swing. He's onto the metal spin right now. He's still got enough time if he gets through this. Gotenks goes for the save jump on the metal spin, and he's got it. Gotenks, 22 seconds. All right, this could be a little closer than I thought. Gotenks has to get through this fast. He's making some early mistakes on the conveyor belt. The clock is ticking down. 12 seconds left. Gotenks, it's time to move. You got 10 seconds. The klaxon is sounding. He hasn't gotten to the tunnel snakes yet. Gotenks, 5 seconds left. It's not going to be enough time. Gotenks is out of time on stage 2. The second time he has ever failed this stage. The last tournament was the first time he failed the metal spin, and this time he ran out of time. He took a couple extra save jumps on the spider walk. That cost him a few seconds. Nothing too bad though, and then look at the solar swing right there. He got that extra bounce. I know he didn't want that one, but what really cost Gotenks his run was the conveyor belt. He did not get a good start. He's standing up right there. You can't get through it if you're standing up. And then those blocks started pushing him back, and he ran out of time. If he just had a few more seconds, it might have been enough. But unfortunately, Gotenks will not be advancing to stage 3.
Hey, you gotta go. You gotta go.
Come on, Gotenks.
Oh.
No.
Damn.
Oh.
I took too many bounces on the thing.
The solar
Spider.
I messed up.
Yeah,
I
you're
messed
a
up on
little
the solar
slow on
swing.
the spider walk as
But
well.
yeah, I did. I messed up on that too.
Well, Gotenks knows what he did wrong, but there is nothing he can do about it anymore except start preparing for next tournament. But his Tournament 20 is over, and that means only 2 competitors were able to advance past Stage 2. The last time only 2 people made it was back in Tournament 11, and that was Gotenks and Hunter Unit 751. Those 2 are obviously out now, and we have a whole new crew. It's DHG Fireball and Chris. These 2 are our only hopes left in Tournament 20, and they are now going to take on the 3rd stage. Not much has changed on Stage 3 from the previous tournament, as both of our competitors will start off with the Roulette Cylinder. After that is the only new obstacle, the Reverse Hill. These are 5 downward triangles that competitors must jump off of and do a curved jump to the left in order to land on the next triangle. After that is the returning Sidewinder, and then the crazy cliffhanger. Following that is the deadly combination of the curtain cling into the vertical limit Kai, and then there's only one obstacle left. It is the pipe slider that only Ump Double Ump has defeated on Halo 5. Fireball has failed it 3 times. Our competitors will have as much time as they need to get through this course, but these obstacles are extremely deadly and are going to do everything that they can to keep our competitors away from the final stage. So let's find out if either of them can pull it off.
I'm worried about everything on Stage 3, man. It's my first time here. Anything could take me out. My biggest concern is getting past the cliffhanger, though. That's right there is my nemesis. It's my enemy. It's so hard. But I think I can get it. I hope I can get it.
The first competitor to take on Tournament 20's 3rd stage is Siren, also known as Chris. Chris is making his 7th appearance on Halo Ninja Warrior and his first on Stage 3. Chris has been competing since Tournament 13, and his skill was very apparent from day 1. He defeated Stage 1 on his 2nd ever appearance, but failed the Salmon Ladder on Stage 2. He didn't find his way past Stage 1 again until Tournament 18, but he looked much better getting to the metal spin. Unfortunately, that experience did not help him in Tournament 19 as he failed the exact same obstacle. Luckily, the 3rd time was the charm for Chris as he finally got past the metal spin this tournament and completely sped through every other obstacle of Stage 2, hitting the buzzer with an abundance of time to spare. Now let's see how this talented veteran handles his first ever 3rd stage. Chris finally on Stage 3, and he's got another crazy intro. Lots of company here on the starting platform.
Oh wow, he gets a kill.
Well, Chris is always finding ways to have fun, but you can tell he is focused. He wants to make something special happen right here on Stage 3. It's his first time, and he has started. He is on the roulette cylinder now. He's got to dodge these poles as this thing rolls, and the big drop is coming up. Can Chris survive the drop? Yes, Chris has got it. And now it's time for the dismount. All right. Now, Chris is the first person to take on this new obstacle, the reverse hill, and with an interesting technique right there, Chris is not gonna stop. Usually people stop on those, but Chris just keeps going. What an incredible attempt at that obstacle. He has completed it. Now he's on to the Sidewinder. Chris is not an all-star on this course. He could be one in the future. If he's trying to build a case for him being a future all-star, this is a great start for him right now. He is hopping through the Sidewinder. He's on to the 4th one. Can he get the dismount? Yes, he can. And now it's time for the crazy cliffhanger. This obstacle has been extremely difficult for many competitors throughout the tournaments. And Chris is staying on the 2nd ledge. What is he doing right now? He's backing up. Chris is going to run down to the 3rd ledge, immediately jump to the 4th. That was unbelievable. How did he pull that off? Chris is safe jumping on the 4th ledge. Now he's got to make it to the dismount. Chris goes for it, and Chris gets by the cliffhanger. What an incredible attempt at that obstacle.
Nice. Let's go, baby.
Let's go, dudes.
Everyone knows how crazy that was. Now he's onto the curtain cling. A little slide jump right there. Chris gets the transition. He's onto the vertical limit Kai right now. Chris is one obstacle away from the pipe slider. Can he pull this off? He's got a big transition to make here. This is very tough. Chris taking a lot of save jumps on this fourth ledge. He's gonna go for it. Chris slips off the ledge. He was trying to stay on it and get a closer jump for that transition, but he went too far to the left. Look at this. Oh, he was so close to clipping that corner and getting the jump, but he couldn't quite make it. Chris is out on the vertical limit Kai, but that was an amazing attempt.
Oh no!
Oh, no.
Good run, though.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, it was a great run.
I don't even care. I got past the
excellent.
cliffhanger, bro.
Yeah, that was great.
Nah, that was
good
dope.
run, though.
That was a good run.
Luckily, Chris still sounds pleased. Let's hear some more from him.
Yeah, having Patty in the game was real motivation, man. Him failing stage 1 really motivated me to get to stage 3. He's always talking about getting total victory, and I was like, you know what, man, I'm gonna get that just for my boy Patty. Him failing stage 1 is just drives me forward.
That's so toxic, dude. Yeah, I'm proud of him, man. I mean, people forget what we do this for. It's us against the stage, you know? It's not us against each other, so regardless of how I did, I mean, I'm proud of Chris. He did great. He went to stage 3. As someone who's been to stage 3, I know how hard it is. So hopefully next tournament he could beat the stage. He could beat the whole course, and that's the whole point.
Wow, Patty freaking a lot of support for his friend Chris and some good Halo Ninja Warrior advice in general. But that means there is only one competitor left in Tournament 20. The last man standing is the All-Star DHG Fireball. He is making his 9th appearance in this tournament, and he has a lot of people in the stands with him. Oh man, look at this crowd. All these people. Chris right there. Obviously, he just failed, but now he is going to support his friend DHG Fireball as he attempts Stage 3. Back on Stage 3 for his 6th tournament in a row is the All-Star DHG Fireball. Fireball has been amazing to watch over his career, even from his first appearance when he got to Stage 3. In Tournament 15, Fireball made it to the final obstacle of Stage 3, the pipe slider, for his first time ever. With the final stage in sight, he tried his hardest to get as much momentum for that huge final jump, but his technique betrayed him, and he slipped right off the pole into the water. He made it back to that same jump in Tournament 18, and this time, he actually went in the right direction, but still failed to get a jump, and came up short of the final stage once again. In the last tournament, Tournament 19, Fireball incredibly got to the pipe slider again, and this time, he actually jumped. It still was not enough though, and Fireball watched the final stage slip through his fingers for a 3rd time. Now the pressure is on Fireball to keep this tournament alive and overcome his past failures. This is actually Fireball's first time ever being the last man standing in a tournament. There is a lot of pressure on him right now, and he is off on Stage 3. What can Fireball do here? He's on the roulette cylinder. He's going with the backwards technique. That way you can see the poles as they come at you. He's got that big drop coming up, and Fireball handles the drop nicely and keeps on sliding side to side to get around those poles. Now he is on to the reverse hill. Will he use the same strategy as Chris? Fireball is going to get very low on it and then go for it. All right, see, Fireball is taking it the slow way. That's amazing. Between Fireball and Chris, they're both very fast jumpers, but Fireball is being a little more cautious right here on Stage 3, and he gets through the reverse hill. Now he's on to the Sidewinder. So Fireball has a lot of pressure on his shoulders right now. He wants to prove that he can beat Stage 3. He's made it to the pipe slider 3 times and has yet to beat it. So that is his ultimate goal. He wants nothing less than to get to the final stage right now, and he is on to the crazy cliffhanger. He's shooting, so you know this is an obstacle that he is worried about. Everyone will always be worried about the cliffhanger whenever it's in a tournament. Even if everyone gets by it, they were still worried about it when they got by it. Fireball gets that big jump up to the second ledge, and he is not going to go for that unbelievable Chris technique. All right, it's time for the big transfer. Fireball looking at that 4th ledge. He jumps up. He jumps across, and Fireball catches the 4th ledge. Can he? Oh, he's going to stick on it. Fireball, amazingly done. Now he's going for the curtain cling, not wasting any time. Fireball gets it, He is on to the vertical limit again. He has done this obstacle multiple times in the past. Can he do it for a third tournament in a row? Fireball, the transition. Yes, he's got it. Fireball is moving through the vertical limit. Oh my goodness, this is happening. He is back. He is going back to the pipe slider. I can't imagine what he's feeling.
Oh my god, I hit myself.
Focus, baby. Focus.
Oh my gosh, I just want to walk off. I really just want to walk off.
This is crazy. Fireball, for his third tournament in a row, is on the pipe slider. Oh, you know he is feeling it right now. He has failed this jump. Well, hopefully he gets there. He's still got the head slide to get through. The head slide has actually been modified. You probably can't see it, but it's a lot more narrow than it usually is. Hopefully Fireball doesn't mess this part up. All right. He's taking his time right now. He just wants to soak it all in. He wants to... he wants to focus as hard as possible. He does not want to go through the pain of failing this jump for a fourth time. I can't imagine what it would be like for him. Clearing it would be amazing, but failing it would be so horrible.
Yo, my hands are shaking so bad.
Come on, Fireball. You're prepared for this. You got this. You know the strat.
Snoz is right there giving him some advice. Fireball needs this advice. He goes for it. DHG Fireball is going to the final stage. He clears the final jump, the jump that he had failed 3 times in the past. And this time, he gets it down. What an amazing jump from DHG Fireball, the All-Star, moving on to the final stage for the first time in his career. Every single obstacle on that stage 3 he had done before, aside from the reverse hill. Obviously, he figured that one out. But all these other obstacles, he continued to show his mastery of stage 3. But the one obstacle he had never defeated, the pipe slider, he finally got the jump he always wanted to get. And now he is going to be advancing to the final stage for the first time in his career. Look at this jump. DHG Fireball, you know he's excited, and everyone watching is super pumped right now. That was incredible. Yes! Yes!
Oh,
Fireball! Let's go!
Yes! Oh my gosh.
Oh,
Yes!
that's a word. That's a
Time's
word.
the charm, Fireball!
Did he?
Fireball.
Time's the charm.
I'm so happy.
You're like 19.
I'm coming over.
You can hear just how happy everyone is for Fireball right now, and you should be. This guy has been trying so hard to get to the final stage, and finally, he has done it, and hope is still alive in Tournament 20. All thanks to DHG Fireball, he will be taking on the final stage for his first time. This is it. With Fireball's third stage clear, 10 of the 20 Halo Ninja Warrior tournaments will end on the final stage. For the 6th time ever, our finalist stands alone at the Supreme Tower. DHG Fireball has come a long way to get here, but he's got a lot further to go if he wants to make history and achieve total victory, something that hasn't happened since Tournament 9.
Dude, it feels amazing. I mean, I started competing in Tournament 12, where my goal wasn't really to get to the final stage. My goal back then was to beat the first stage, and that'd be a good performance of me. But then Tournament 15 came around. I finally made it to the pipe slider, failed it, and ever since then, I think my goal has been always to make it to the final stage, and I haven't been able to do it yet, and to finally do it is, like, amazing.
Fireball now joins an elite group of competitors who can say that they have been to the final stage. A group that started back in Tournament 5 with Drago is Sick.
Come on, Drago. 5. He's got 5, 3, 2 seconds left. Oh, he's getting to the top. Come on. Oh, Drago is Sick. Just short of beating it.
2 tournaments later, a relatively unknown competitor would arise and change the course forever.
Through the final stage with 1.68 seconds left, and there you have it, guys. Total victory.
And then in Tournament 9, it happened again.
Hands to the shield, and he hit the landmine with 0.51 seconds left. That is the second time anyone has ever beat the final stage.
Ever since Buddy and Job's total victories, nothing has been the same. The final stage would be attempted 2 tournaments in a row by Gotenks, who failed to complete the brand new Heavenly Ladder both times. In Tournament 12, Buddy found his way back to the final stage, but could not become a 2-time champion. We didn't see the final stage again until the final MCC tournament, Tournament 16, when Hunter, Gotenks, and Weapon Man all defeated Stage 3, but none could reach the top of the tower in time. On Halo 5, Double Ump became the first to attempt the final stage in Tournament 18, but he struggled with the Heavenly Ladder, and the wait for Halo Ninja Warrior's 3rd Grand Champion continued. Now in Tournament 20, Fireball is the only hope for this landmark tournament. 1,000 attempts have been taken at this course, 2 were successful, and now there is 1 left with a chance to make history. Fireball was made an all-star because everyone knew that he was something special, but he has yet to face a bigger test than what he is about to undertake. It's time to find out how Tournament 20 will end. In order to achieve total victory, Fireball will have to climb up the 14 poles on the Heavenly Ladder. They go back and forth, and they are not easy by any means. After that, it is the final rope, where you must keep on hopping up in a straight line, and you must reach the buzzer within 30 seconds to achieve total victory. It all comes down to this for DHG Fireball. He steps up to the platform ready to make his mark on Tournament 20. How will this all-star do? He's lining up. He is the 10th different competitor to reach the final stage. He needs to go fast here if he wants to achieve total victory, but he can't make a mistake. 30 seconds and Fireball is off. He is climbing the Heavenly Ladder. DHG Fireball, the all-star. He started in Tournament 12 and he is climbing here in Tournament 20 at a very fast pace. Look at Fireball go. He destroyed the Heavenly Ladder. Now onto the final rope. He is climbing up. 13 seconds left. 12. The klaxon's about to start sounding, but Fireball is going very fast right now. Is it possible? Could this happen? DHG Fireball? Yes, he's done it! Fireball! Oh my goodness! Total victory! I do not believe that that just happened. Total victory for DHG Fireball. It's been 11 tournaments since the last time this has happened, but this guy just pulled it off. This is why he's an all-star. He just got shot to death, but that is the dead body of a grand champion. DHG Fireball climbed to the top of the tower, hit the buzzer, all in less than 30 seconds, and there, right there on your screen, is the 3rd ever Halo Ninja Warrior Grand Champion. What an unbelievable moment in Halo Ninja Warrior history.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Did I get it?
Johnson, say hi. Come on.
You did it.
11 tournaments. Finally, I have total victory, Smokey. 11 tournaments. You cracked it, Fireball.
Couldn't be proud.
Oh, I killed him!
I got murdered.
I killed him!
It actually feels like insanely amazing. Like, I've been doing this for what? I've been on Xbox doing this for 3-4 years, and this is one of the main purposes I've been on Xbox to achieve this. And just the feeling that you got, or I got when I hit that landmine, and you guys said I got total victory. It was amazing.
Well, DHG Fireball just joined Buddy Jumps and Just One Player as a grand champion of Halo Ninja Warrior. That was the 8th time we've seen this version of the final stage attempted, and he is the first person who has completed it. Tournament 20 was already a historic tournament as it brought us the 1,000th ever attempt at this course, but now it has also brought us the end of an era. We waited 11 tournaments to get a 3rd total victory, 10 tournaments in a row. Nobody could complete all 4 stages, but DHG Fireball has just changed the history of this course forever. He will go down in the history books of this course as an absolute legend. I could not think of a better way to end Tournament 20. I want to thank everyone who competed in this tournament and made it as amazing as it was. Hopefully, DHG Fireball's total victory will motivate everyone to come back even stronger for future tournaments. And remember, if you ever want to compete, just message me, SMOKEY Massacre, on Xbox Live. And as always, I will see you next time on Halo Ninja Warrior.